きげんよう、金魚人形と申します。どうぞよろしくお願いします。Hello, hi, how are you? Yes, this is an Anime Expo stream post the Anime Expo edition. Welcome back, thank you. It's really nice to be back. Also, I noticed none of my VODs seem to be working. Or not VODs, music is working. So let me go ahead and fix that really quickly. I don't know why it's being like, yeah, music, we don't know her. Hmm. Hmm. That is weird. Huh. Music decided, I'm just not gonna work today. Haha. And I'm just like, please. Okay, that's much better. Okay. That's much better. Anyways, how are we, folks? Also, hi, K sandwiches. Are your sandwiches good? Are they indeed good? I hope they're good. I like a good sandwich in my life. But yeah, Anime Expo. It was really fun. I had a very good time. I hope if you were somebody who was able to go to Anime Expo, you too enjoyed your time at said convention. If not, we can totally talk about my experience today, which is kind of why I'm here today. Mostly, this is just a full, just chatting stream where I attempt to recap the last 4 to 5 days of my life and fail miserably because what I experienced, I do not think fully encapsulates the full entity that makes up the convention, Anime Expo. Um, if you're new to Anime Expo or just conventions in general, Anime Expo is a really big convention featuring, as you might have expected, anime. Um, I believe as of now, it is still one, if not the biggest anime conventions in North America, although some conventions are quickly behind Anime Expo's heels in overtaking them. They've had a lot of competition, and I think Anime Expo has started to notice that. And this year, they really pulled out all the stops with their convention experience and their I think to a degree even the vendor experience really popped off this year. People really brought an A game of to people really brought their A game to bring together. Pretty much was like I think probably like the most fun I've had at Anime Expo in a really long time as an attendee, just attending. I think that's also supplemented by the fact that for the first time in a really long time, there were things I actually wanted to do at this convention, which I haven't really experienced in a while. So that's really good on Anime Expo's part. As somebody who's been going to conventions for now since 2011, um, I would say I am very well versed in conventions scene as an attendee. So I am very glad that there's a convention out there. Surprisingly, a convention I've attended, actually, not a new one. I'm surprised that there was a convention that I experienced this year where I actually felt really excited and it almost like invigorated and inspired by what I experienced there. But I think to get the full scope of things, I really would like to show just like what my perspective was of the convention, which you can follow along with if you are in our in the Discord. In the Discord. Yes, there. Give me 1 second to like get that shit together. Okay. Let's get into it fully. Let me make sure. Is that good? Is that good? I'm just double checking. Okay. Yeah. So, AX thread, Anime Expo thread, my post Anime Expo thread because I'm really bad at updating my socials in real time. So I really, as much as I was thinking about it, I also was just kind of like, let me just enjoy what I'm doing at the moment, and then I'll come back to it. So that's what I did. I enjoyed myself fully in the moment while at Anime Expo, and then I came back. Done. Anime Expo chat over. No, I'm just no. we're that's if it was only that quick and easy. But obviously not. There's definitely way more to talk about here. So I guess we can start going into day zero. Day zero was pretty chill overall. If you asked me, like, mostly because I didn't really do anything. I just drove, or I didn't drive. I was passenger princessing the entire time to Anime Expo. So I didn't get to do anything, but it wasn't really that long of a drive. So fortunately, it was pretty chill. Um, Fortunately, living in the same state that a convention happens to reside in means if you don't want to, you don't have to pay for a flight. But fortunately, I we lived close enough that we didn't really need to pay for a flight. So yay! Ciao, hi, welcome back. I'm glad to be back. I hope that this is the last time I will need to do big traveling in a while. Ideally, I don't want to do any more traveling for the rest of the year. So this is the last time my schedule will be inconsistent. The only other times it'll be inconsistent is because IRL is kicking my ass. But yeah, day zero was chill. This was the meal I had while at once basically we had checked into our hotel. We being Lillian and myself, that's the person I spent pretty much I think most if not all of my AX with. We went to this sushi place. So it was an omakase. So I very much enjoyed it. The nice thing about the omakase place that we went to was that you could choose different types of omakase. So it didn't have to be like like if you didn't want to eat like $40 of sushi, you didn't have to. You could have eaten $25 worth of sushi. I paid for 35, which was really good. You need the prep, but wanted to stop by and welcome me back. Have a good stream. Thank you, Zhao. I don't know what you need the prep, but I hope prepping goes good. Yeah. I hope prepping goes good. So yeah, sushi was good. I enjoyed it very much. The omakase that I paid for, which is about like $35, I think was super worth. Not too heavy, but not too light. Definitely good enough to fill me up into the next day, which was officially day one. Because day one, actually at day zero, actually before this meal, I actually had to go make a Target run. But fortunately, Target was pretty chill. I just had to get some fishnets, or not fishnets. I had to get stockings. I had to get stockings, for my cosplay, which worked out pretty smoothly, if I do say so myself. Cause, initially when I got to Target, what had happened was we got to Target and I make a beeline for the section that would usually sell things like tights and fishnets and stockings. And I'm still shopping at Target during the boycott. Only in extreme emergencies like this. The only time I really go to Target these days is to use my CalFresh benefits, and which basically means I'm not paying for it, because it is like one of the only few locations near me that offers food, or B, it's an emergency. I try not to buy anything like that's not an essential at Target unless it's like really, really, really important. Um, in this case, this was last minute cosplay supplies because the item that I purchased on Amazon that I thought had a proper shipment of the stockings I needed, in fact, did not have a shipment. And I had that shipped the day before I was leaving for AX. So there was really no way I could have gotten another pair of stockings in time without, like, basically not receiving them. So I did have to, like, make that type of purchase. But, otherwise, like, that went pretty smoothly. Target was swarming with weebs, full of the same attitude of, I need to buy something very last minute. None of them considering boycotts at all. Or if they did, they completely disregarded it. Because in their mind, it was an emergency. Which, I understand that sentiment too. But I kind of panicked for a hot minute because I get to Target, I get to the section that has stockings, tights, and whatnot, and I unfortunately did not see anything initially. Like, everything was, like, sold out. Like, every other weeb had already grabbed pretty much every other stocking that was in a small medium. And I think to myself, like, damn, I'm gonna have to, like, basically leave this Target. Like, I'm gonna have to continue boycotting. And then I turn around and I see this whole other section that no one has even touched. Like, it was really like a moment where all these cosplayers saw the first thing and made a beeline towards it and then didn't look back. And I was one of the very few cosplayers who, like, decided to turn their head at, like, a full 180 and realize, oh, there was other stuff. There was, in fact, stock in the back. The stock actually, being behind me. So that worked out. I don't think I purchased anything else at Target. I really try to keep my purchases minimal if it's an emergency, because again, they did cut their DE&I policy, which I'm, like, not a huge fan of. And that's, like, putting it lightly. So I really don't go to Target unless it's for a emergency, or I'm using, my CalFresh benefits, which means I'm actually not paying for anything. The government's paying it. But that was day 0. Also, I didn't mention this, but hi, Fruit. Hope you're good. Thanks for saying hi in the chat. We're catching up on Anime Expo. My day 0 experience was fairly smooth, fairly chill. LA is always kind of just this weird space. Downtown LA, I think, is just this weird space of just, like, it's dangerous, but it's also kind of not dangerous because there's a bunch of weebs running around. You stopped going to Target a couple years ago because they couldn't keep your local store stocked. Oh, there were dozens of empty shelves. Well, that's not good. So the boycott didn't change anything for me. Good you found them, though. Thank you. Yeah, Target, most major city Targets kind of have to keep things in stock because Target's kind of become, like, unfortunately, a go-to for a lot of people. Like, the boycott has been definitely working fairly well, but it's still a lot of folks go to because they either, maybe the boycott just hasn't made to their algorithm, or it's not in their point of view, or just other factors to consider. I don't know. It's none of my business. But day 0 of Anime Expo is fine. Downtown LA is always a little weird, but not so weird during Anime Expo because there's a bunch of weebs walking around, so it's probably the safest downtown LA gets, even considering the current state of downtown LA, where they did experience a number of protests a few weeks prior. Surprisingly, I don't think there was actually very much action near, like, occurring at all near the convention center. I think if there was any form of protest, they just chose to stay clear of Anime Expo. Previous years, there have been protest strikes, protests that have come their way into Anime Expo. Last year, I believe JW Marriott workers were actually protesting in front of the hotel during the convention. And, very reasonably so. They weren't getting paid enough. This was also, I believe, during the time when a a lot of major hotel contracts were renewing, and there was no news about like wages being increased. So I've seen a lot of different protests. I've seen protests like the Westboro Baptist Church show up at a convention, or Christian protesters, which like for a good 8 years, I want to say they were just a dime a dozen at conventions. I believe it was a strike. I believe for JW Marriott it was a strike, but they were also protesting in response to, I think, the results that came across their contract renewals. Cause, well, what defines a protest versus a strike? Like, I suppose a strike could be people just choosing not to work in response to certain results of contract renewals. This is just me using an example of last year, by the way. From last year. But yeah, raids. Yeah, that was also something to think about at Anime Expo. Surprisingly, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were ICE like roaming around Anime Expo, but I also think that ICE probably just could not do much around Anime Expo because it is literally a convention around Japanese animation, and a number of guests were quite obviously not from America. Like, if you just take a look at the lineup of like various folks, like for example, some of the people who we will be talking about during my experience at Anime Expo include the mangaka Gachiakuta, the graffiti artist of Gachiakuta, the entire production staff of the new Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt season, and the mangaka duo of Peach Pit. None of those folks are U.S. citizens. None of those folks even have spent more than like probably 2-3 months in America. They're all from Japan. And those were just guests that I was cognizant about. There was also like the creator of Alien stage here. And there were also Chinese animes being advertised, like To Be Hero X. So obviously, like, everybody and their mom showing up at Anime Expo as an industry guest was not American. So ICE probably couldn't really do anything. But coming back to definition of strike versus protest, strike is organized by a labor union. Protest can be by anybody. Okay, so last year was a strike then. This year, I was expecting some protests regarding ICE. There were none. At least not near Anime Expo. If there were any, they were a little bit further out of the convention's vicinity. But going straight into day one, what time did I wake up for day one? Day one, I didn't really have too many panels until... Actually, I could probably look at my AX schedule right now. Because the thing is, I made a schedule, by the way. Guys, it's kind of... I want to, like, shout myself out for a moment. Let me shout myself out for a moment. Because you know what I did? In the midst of working 52 hours at, like, 2 different jobs and also still balancing streaming, I made a schedule for stuff I wanted to see at Anime Expo, and like made a schedule for like friends, because okay, I basically copied and pasted a template from a schedule I made last year, but I still made a schedule, and only like 3 of my friends, including myself, contributed to it. No one else did anything, but it's fine. It is what it is. But I made a schedule and I can look at it for reference right now. So day 1, my first panel to experience wasn't until like 4:15 p.m. So I think I woke up around like 9. Yeah, I woke up at 9 on day 1. And day 1 I did cosplay. No, you will not get to see pictures of it because I did 2 cosplays at Anime Expo. Both those cosplays, I can guarantee you, I was the only person with my body type and figure cosplaying them. So I can't say what I was cosplaying because I know people took photos of me. And I can't mention them, otherwise you could probably Google search them and find them. So unfortunately, I will not be doxing myself today on the channel. But yes, we made a schedule, even in this economy. And while I was cosplaying on day one, I saw stuff like this. The Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy collab mural, which, like, they paint by hand, which is kind of crazy. I got this picture while taking an Anime Expo shuttle, which I will, honestly, 10 out of 10 experience for the shuttle, but 5 out of 10 experience for my hotel. This was the first time in, like, I want to say, my first time ever in Anime Expo, my Anime Expo experience that I ever hoteled somewhere that wasn't within walking distance of the convention. I didn't like it. I next year, I'm getting a hotel near the convention center. It will be in walking distance. I did not like having to take the bus because I ended up like Ubering like 3 times. So in the end, the shuttle wasn't really that much worth it unless like I was going back. No photos. We have more photos. We have more photos. Like food photos. Food photos are good. There was actually a lot of food at Anime Expo this year because what they did with Anime Expo this year is that typically, historically, Anime Expo takes up the LACC and the JW Marriott. Recently, they have also expanded to take up the Crypto Theater, but this year, they also took up the Peacock Theater and all of the surrounding space in that area. So this is the first time they ever did something like that. And what they incorporated into the space between the Crypto Theater and the Peacock Theater is that they put a beer garden. And at the beer garden, there were also food stalls. So this is the first time also that Anime Expo had as many food stalls as they did. They had a lot of food stalls. Like, I want to say they had food stalls in front of the convention center, behind the convention center, and near the theater. So you had, like, 3 points of, like, food available at you near the convention at all times. Until, like, I want to say 8 p.m.-ish. But, yeah. No cosplay photos. I'm sorry. I really can't share them because if I did, I would pretty much dox myself. Although I didn't post them anywhere else. I just know like, oh, if someone finds these photos, they would know they might recognize me. So sorry. One of the foods I tried, this one. This is my first time trying candied fruit like this. You know, the really viral one. I wasn't really expecting anything with it. But I don't know why I was expecting it to be, like, more sugary on the inside, if that makes sense. I don't know. It was really surprisingly sugary only on the outside, which I guess makes sense because it is just the sugar coating. It's not, like, a sugar marination or anything. They're just, like, pouring sugar onto fruit and then cooling it down. But it was still really delicious. I enjoyed it very much. They had longer sticks too, but because I wasn't really that hungry, like I didn't want to eat like a whole bunch of like sugar-coated fruit. I just wanted something really small. So they fortunately had a smaller version that I was like, I'll buy this. And they're like, okay. But then I was still hungry, so I got myself a corn dog. It was, inside was beef. And the surrounding here is, cornbread and corn. It's sweet corn. I've never had a corn dog like this, so this was kind of nice to have. I also really tried to make it a point to try to eat as much meat as possible during this convention because I don't eat meat very often, but meat is what keeps it's what keeps most people's energy up considerably. So I try to eat as much meat as possible. And yeah, there's mustard too. Mustard on that. It was pretty good. The mustard. After that is finally some actual stuff inside the convention center. This was next to the anime booth. It was celebrating Evangelion's upcoming 30-year anniversary. So if you zoom in like a little bit more in here, which we can't do on this photo, you can't zoom in. There's a bit of a timeline of like certain aspects of Evangelion which have come out over the years, like the first Evangelion anime and like Evangelion the End, or like End of Evangelion, and like the movies. And then finally in 2026, they're gonna have an exhibition to celebrate 30 years of Evangelion. Um, which I think is, it's kind of crazy how many things are getting exhibitions this year. Into next year. Like the My Hero manga has an art exhibition going on right now. Peach Pit will be having an exhibition for 20 years, 25 years, very soon, later this summer. And then Eva's gonna have theirs, starting in the winter. And I think this exhibition's running the longest. So good for them. Good for Eva. I'm gonna miss out on the My Hero exhibition and the Peach Pit exhibition, but at least I got to see a little bit of the Peach Pit art, through the mini gallery that they actually had at Anime Expo, so that was really cool. I'm going a little bit ahead, but I couldn't take pictures of that gallery because I literally was not allowed to. Some people still took pictures and videos, which they really shouldn't have. But you know, Americans, they ignore stuff. Also, the signage was really bad, and no one was watching people to like make sure they didn't take videos, so it's kind of their fault as well. But I'm digressing because after that's not it. That's going ahead. Um so after looking at the anime booth, we go out to the South Hall of Anime Expo, where there's a whole arts installation celebrating the Gachiakuta premiere. So this is actually not a screenshot. This is like a picture at Anime Expo I took. I cropped it because it looked better cropped. But this is like art that they had like featuring the whole first chapter of the manga in behind an art installation for the Gachiakuta world premiere for the anime. Like they just had like blocks of the entire first chapter for people to read so that they could get introduced to the series before, the anime basically came out, which I thought was really cool. I never seen an art installation like that. And then this is where mangaka Urana Kei Sensei comes out and basically starts live drawing Huro. It's actually really funny because I was cosplaying from Gachiakuta. I won't say who I was cosplaying from, but I was cosplaying from Gachiakuta. And as I was cosplaying, we head to this side of the south lobby of Anime Expo where they have this arts installation because the live drawing for this started at day one at like 1 p.m. So at about like 12:50-ish, we're just kind of, me and Lillian are just kind of walking around. And as we're walking around, the left side of this art installation, so that you can see, there's a door. That door opens, and literally peeking out is Uranake. Like, peeking out just to see, like, what's happening, and we make eye contact. Like, I'm literally, like, 5 feet away from her. And she's just like, oh, you. South, like, says the character name that I'm cosplaying, and I'm just like, hi, I'm really looking forward to your panel. And she's just like, oh, yeah. And then the door shuts. Like, I say that in Japanese, and she's just like, oh, yeah. And then the door just shuts. And I'm just like, okay, that was the mangaka. Cool. She recognized my cosplay. Cool. I'm just kind of fangirling, panicking, not really sure what else to do. But yes, Lillian was with me this entire convention. Green Padoru was with me this entire convention. She's currently not with me right now. She's out and about doing things, but Rihanna Kay, wow, what a really cool looking person. And then also with her was the graffiti artist for Gachiakuta, Ando Hideyoshi. He was also doing a live drawing on the other side that you can't see here. Yeah, they were both really cool. They were both really chill too. Like, I feel like if you had just saw them walking around Anime Expo, you wouldn't have thought they were like, guests of, I don't know if they were guest of honor or just special guests, but they were a guest of Anime Expo. And like, if you just saw them walking around in the distance, you probably wouldn't have thought anything. You probably would have been like, oh, those guys have cool style. They seem chill. Like, because that's kind of all they were. They were just really happy to be here. And I was very happy for them being here too. They were so nice. They like allowed so many pictures. Like they were so chill with people taking pictures of them. It's kind of crazy how much they allowed. And so here's the panel we went to, like a couple hours later. So this is not even the world premiere yet. This is just a panel Q&A for Gachakta's mangaka and graffiti artists. So I just take pictures of a lot of the panel, and also Lillian got pictures of them with their shikishiki boards because sorry, I don't know why I had to repeat that. I just lost my words. Yeah. Shout out to Lillian for taking the shiki board pictures because I didn't think about it in my thought process of Anime Expo in general. So actually before the panel, it was kind of a clusterfuck in lining up because the thing about Anime Expo is, unlike other places at conventions, like more smaller conventions, where you could just go to a panel room and just like sit and chill and like basically sit for as long as you want depending on the panel room. AX will have specific rooms that clear out constantly. So Gachiakuta's panel room was one of them. So we couldn't just like go in and just sit. We had to like for actually queue up for the panel before we could get in. And unfortunately, the location we got queued up in was out in the blazing sun in 80-degree plus weather. Literally 5 feet away from us was the exact same queue line for that panel room under canopies. But for some reason, the guy in charge of supervising our line said, nah, you gotta stand in this one. You gotta stand in the blazing heat. And you gotta listen to me DJ. I'll DJ for you. And I'm like, he's not even DJing. He's just playing songs from 8 Mile. He's just playing shitty Eminem songs. Actually, Eminem's not that shitty. It's just he was kind of being shitty. And like we were all just over it in the heat because it's just like, dude, there's like still 45 minutes before this panel starts. Are you just gonna have us like sit here in the blazing heat and just like hope none of us die from heat stroke or something? And yes, that is basically what he had us do for 45 minutes. Unfortunately, I didn't. No one died of heat stroke. Nobody died of heat stroke. Nobody died. But I was kind of pissed because like he really didn't need to do that. Like I get that he's miserable staffing, but he made that choice. We made the choice to be attendees. And I don't know. I just thought it was kind of shit when it's just like, there's a canopy right over, man. Like, it was, I heard they were accused, but artists were allowed to cut the line. Depends on the thing. I can't speak for anything because I'm not an artist, nor am I industry, but, like, I know some artists were able to cut lines because they have early entry to locations like exhibitors and artist alley because they have to set up an artist alley. Some of them actually need to work and set up. But most of the time, they usually just make their purchases before the convention or after the convention closes down AA and exhibitors because usually that's the only time they can do stuff like that. I don't know about panels, though. Panels, from what I've seen, tends to be a first come, first serve. If you get in, you get in. If you don't get in, you don't get in. Fortunately, I got into all the panels I wanted to see. Thank you very much. I was not at all worried. Surprisingly, or I guess in contrast, Lillian was very worried we weren't going to get into any of our panels. But I've never gotten into a panel. I've never been blocked out of a panel. Even after panels have said they were closed and then reopened, I have gotten in. So I am very good at getting into panels if I really want to. So the Gachiakuta panel was really nice. I sat literally right in front of Uranake and Hideyoshi Ando as they were basically live drawing. We got in really early, and I just decided I'm just gonna sit in front of in the row that has that basically is the closest to these tables. Basically, I sat in front of like them live drawing this whole time. So they were just pretty much anytime pretty much, like, if they wanted to look in my direction, they did. If they wanted to, they could have, because I was just right directly in front of their faces, cosplaying a character from their series, from their manga, and it was really nerve wracking, as it was just like really fun. Um, and then here is Lillian's photo after the artist basically did a live drawing during the Q&A. It's actually really interesting to see how they draw and collaborate together in real time, because essentially what they did was they started drawing on one board each, and then halfway through the panel, they switched boards and then completed each other's pictures, essentially. So I thought it was really cool how they have created this rapport together that just works really smoothly. And as they stated in the panel and in other panels that I was able to attend, they just kind of work on vibes, which is kind of nice. Like, you can really tell that they're just both chill people who like what they do and are really glad that it's as successful as it is, and it's continuing to get successful. And then here's another photo of Gachakuta. Can you tell I like Gachakuta, like, quite a bit? Can you tell I'm really into this series, like, quite a lot? There's just something about it, like, that's really cool, that has a lot of swag to it, that I'm really excited to see animated, because there's just so much aura in, like, so many of these characters. Like, it really makes sense how somebody who looks like this, like the way they dress, the way their presence is, like, just in this photo here, could make something like this. Like, it's like, it's very much just like art reflects artist and vice versa. And so I think that's why I really like Gachakuta. Besides, like, other aspects of, like, Uranake being the female mangaka, like, because I always will support that, and also her being a former assistant to the mangaka of Soul Eater and Fire Force. Like, she was assisting during Fire Force publication. And so I think working on that sort of influenced her style quite a bit. You can kind of tell, like, if you read the manga, like, there's some aspects that may remind you of Soul Eater, but, like, the end of the day, it's very much purely Unada Sensei's work, and there's just something in the manga that just, like, separates it completely from, like, what maybe from a first glance some people might think this feels like Soul Eater. I'm like, it's not. It's really not. It's completely different, and it's gonna be so good when all of it gets animated. It's greenlit for 24 episodes. I'm so excited, you guys. And I already got to see 2 episodes of this show at the Anime Expo world premiere on day 2. So for this, I woke up at 8 in the morning. And, like, that's not the earliest I've woken up, but for a convention, that is very early. I did not cosplay for this. I just woke up. I wore cute clothing, and then I went straight to this panel with Lillian. And Lillian was worried we weren't going to get in, apparently. That's her words, not mine, but I was like, we're going to get in. It'll be fine. It's chill. It's super early. Who's waking up at 8 in the morning for a world premiere? Surprisingly, a good amount of people. The Gachiakata world premiere was actually a full house. It was booked. They were booked on this one. And so it was a really good first 2 episodes. Like, wow. Like, something about in the previous panel with the Gachiakata creators, one thing they really said to, like, pay attention to was, like, the movement of the series, like, of the anime, and, you know, they were right. There was a lot of movement in just 2 episodes by Studio Bones Film. Like, it's such a smooth experience in those first 2 episodes. And I really do hope Bones Films continues that work of showcasing the movement from the manga into the anime, because I didn't think about how smooth, like, how much movement there really was in Gachakuta. Because, again, everything was... Originally, I read everything on the manga. When you read stuff in manga, like, certain things just like movement wise don't always click. Maybe they do for some folks. They don't click for me all the time. So seeing everything like in full motion really made me like realize like, wow, um, this is gonna be a really great anime if they keep up with the work that they did. If you've seen the first episode, you kind of know what I'm talking about in certain aspects, especially the first scene. I think movement is gets so well showcased in the first like I want to say 5-10 minutes, and then episode 2 is just so much movement, so smooth movement. It's so good. I can't wait for so many more action scenes to get animated because there's some really good action scenes that are just like you just can't wait. Also, tidbit from day one. We're going backwards a little bit. I did in fact get a selfie with these guys. I did get a selfie with the creators of Gachiakuta because I was cosplaying them, and then I decided I'm gonna ask them for a photo in Japanese because I have that ability to weaponize my Japanese speaking skills. So I did that. They were really chill about that. That's why I was saying like they're really chill about a lot of stuff. Like they were chill with like getting photos, being photographed, and everything. So the Gachiakuta world premiere, really good. Super great. 10 out of 10 experience. Most impressive, thank you. The Gachiakuta premiere was also very most impressive. I also was asked questions at the Gachiakuta world premiere I guess because Lily and I were both kind of standing out with our outfits, we got asked questions. So it was a good premiere. And then I took a photo of this Bandai Namco installation because I just thought cool architecture. There's a lot of cool architecture at Anime Expo this year that really like made the exhibition hall feel so much bigger than it usually does. Most of the time I feel like I'm very overstimulated and cramped at Anime Expo, and in this case I felt very overstimulated but not so cramped at Anime Expo, just overstimulated. But most of the overstimulation I got over with by day 1. So by day 2, I was kind of chilling. I was chilling pretty well. And then there was the Peach Pit panel. So after the Gachiakuta panel world premiere, we had about how many hours to kill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5 hours to kill. For the Peach Pit panel, which was at 3:45 p.m. The Peach Pit panel, no photography or video allowed, so this is all you get, which is from the entrance of the Peach Pit 25th Anniversary Gallery Anime Expo. It was a very cute panel. It was very chill, it was very quiet. Pretty much everybody who showed up was either female presenting, assigned female at birth, or just into shoujo. It was very much a by the girlies, for the girlies panel. There were a lot of Shugokera cosplayers, a lot of Rose Maiden cosplayers. Not that many Deers cosplayers or Zombie Lone cosplayers. By not that many, I mean none, unfortunately. Mostly Rose Maiden and Shugokera, because that is Peach Pit's 2 biggest titles, I would say. But Peach Pit, as a duo, were very kind and nice and very shy. The 2 of them really did not feel comfortable showing themselves. So in order to combat that, they actually wore all black. They wore these type of clothing called kuroko, which in Japan is well known for being the type of clothing that you wear when you are a puppeteer or when you're puppeting something. Because black typically blends in with the background. So they wore kuroko clothing for the panel to hide their identity. The stage hands at null, right? Yes, that's correct. That's exactly what it is. So the 2 of them wore that, and it was very cute how they decided to portray themselves at that panel. And so when it came for Q&A, I actually was able to get in line first for this panel. And I was able to ask my question in Japanese and in English because, again, I will weaponize that Japanese speaking skill when I can. And so my question was, what type of fashion style would Peach Pit like to draw or explore in the future. And for the most part, they had been pretty satisfied with everything they had drawn so far in their history because they've drawn a lot of different fashion styles. Like, they, like, a lot. Like, you can kind of tell just from this panel alone. Like, there's a lot of different styles just in here. But one thing that they haven't really gotten to try is, like, retro China style. So that's something they'd like to try. And I thought, hey, that's actually really cool. I look forward to that. I hope I do get to see something like that in their work. And I thought I asked a pretty good question. I think that was a pretty solid question to start out with. But I accidentally set a precedent as well because after I asked my question, a lot of people tried, okay, like 3 or 4 people after me tried speaking in Japanese to ask their question essentially. And I felt really bad for accidentally setting a precedence because I didn't mean to. I just wanted to make things easier for the guests who happen to speak the same language I do. And I also wanted to make sure my question did not get misinterpreted because that's one thing about translators I don't like. Sometimes your question gets misinterpreted and translators don't always do the best job of representing their talent. I would say of the 4 translators I saw at 4 different panels, 3 out of 4, I would say, first best translator was the Gachiakuta translator. The Kodansha translator was amazing. She had the exact same vibes as the Gachiakuta creators, and she was very on point with like language, vibes, slang, so on. Second place was probably Yamashita Daiki's translator because he was capturing the vibes really well, but he was also translating for both Yamashita Daiki and Justin Briner. These are both Midoriya Izuku's voice actors. Third place was Peach Pit's voice actor. Just because I think she was assigned by Anime Expo to translate, she wasn't provided by Nakayoshi or any other publisher. This is just a translator Anime Expo had on staff. And then last place was Panty and Stocking's Studio Trigger's translator. And I think that's because he didn't have any writing utensils on him to take notes during the panel because he's standing the whole time. That was my ranking. But Peach Pit was really cute. It was really lovely. I got my question answered. It's the only panel I was able to get my question answered. All the other panels either didn't allow for questions or time ran out, so I couldn't ask my question, but it's okay. I think I asked a very good question for Peach Pit, so it worked out. And then after the Peach Pit panel, Lily and I go back to our hotel, and I change into a cosplay for Panty and Stocking. And the Panty and Stocking line was honestly a clusterfuck. So this was kind of new to me because this was the first time in a long time I attended an 18 plus panel. The last time I attended an 18 plus panel was maybe in 2017, 2018. And in 2017, 2018, you didn't need a wristband to get into an 18 plus panel. For this panel, you did. You needed to get a wristband. So, before I could even get into the panel, I had to get myself ID'd at the ID booth and get myself a wristband. And that took it probably 20 minutes just standing in line. And then, after I get my wristband, the Panty and Stocking line into the Peacock Theater is still a clusterfuck. It is just, there is no line. There is just hopes and prayers that you get into the building sooner rather than later and get a decent seat. Because it was just Lillian and myself, it was fortunately easy to get a seat. Not the closest, but close enough. And also visible. I had a very good view. I was able to see the producer, the director, Hai Maishi, he's all the way on the left there. And Who else was there? There was Imaishi, Yoshida. I don't remember who was there as the third person, but basically the white haired dudes are staff, the person on the right all the way with the bowl cut staff, and the middle is the translator who's really trying to do his best by not having any writing utensils, but also kind of censoring himself when translating. Not even joking. All of the staff were saying stuff like bitch and fuck and shit in English and in Japanese. And this translator just would not translate any of the foul language, which I felt was such a disservice. Because it's like, dude, it's Panty and Stockings world premiere. Like, uncensor yourself. Like, have some balls. Like, literally, Imaishi's, like, talking about Panty's a bitch girl, and Stocking's an even bitchier girl. And it's just, like, they're both bitch girls, and it's just, like, and then this translator's just, like, yeah, they're, like, really foul women. It's, like, no, they're bitches. Just, PSG even uses English cursor. Exactly, exactly. Oh, my God. So the Panty and Stocking World premiere was really good, you know, in spite of translation, censorship, and lack of writing utensils on his part. It was a really great world premiere. Lillian hasn't seen the entire show, but she was able to get fully caught up to speed within like the first 5-10 minutes of the first episode. We got to see 2 episodes basically. And it's kind of crazy how, despite being such a simplistic drawing style, it's so well animated. Like, the anime is so advanced. And funnily enough, they have staff across, like, all of their work on this thing. I don't know if it was just, like, we need all hands on deck, or it was just more like a voluntary thing. Like, they have everybody from, like, basically Gainax staff, like Imaishi and Sushio on staff, like people who worked on Gurren Lagann, working on this all the way to some of their more recent stuff, like Cyberpunk. Like, they have all hands on deck, like all generations of Trigger staff on Panty and Stocking, basically. Like, it is probably like the like most. I think it's gonna be probably. It's gonna like basically be as hard hitter of this as like it was its first season. It's good. Like, I typically don't like raunchy shows. Like, it's so well written. And it's really funny because it's been 15 years since the anime like aired its first season, but the second season, barring like a couple of things that you could tell, like, yeah, they're keeping up with the time. Certain things like in the new season are clearly references to more modern day things, more like 2000 stuff, but it still feels like the exact same show. Like, the vibes are still there. The vibes are exactly the same. And I'm so glad that Studio Trigger was able to get the rights to Panty and Stocking after Gainax basically went defunct. So, 2 world premieres in a day. Lots of stimulation, but really good otherwise. I do want to keep in mind as well that we are on time for an ad pretty soon. And I'm basically barely into day. I just finished up basically talking about day 2. There is a couple more things I want to talk about day 2 following the world premiere of the Panty and Stocking panel. But that'll be after this quick commercial break. So we'll talk in a couple moments. We're going to take a quick commercial break, y'all. See you in a bit. Hello again. We're so back. And sorry it took me a moment. Oh, I should make this full screen, not that full screen. I should make this full screen. Um yeah. So, sorry. It took me a little bit longer to come back because I had to beg for forgiveness from Nari because I accidentally stepped on her tail. She forgave me surprisingly. Pretty quickly, surprisingly. But it's fine. It was good. Um Anyways, why am I still on this even though it seems like I talked a lot about day 2 already? It's because day 2 was not over. After the Panty and Stocking world premiere, they announced these figures that unfortunately I could not purchase because they sold out so quickly at the Good Smiles booth. God, I should have purchased them as soon as possible because they were $50 and I wouldn't have to deal with tariffs, but now I'm going to have to deal with tariffs, but it's fine. It is what it is. They had some Panty and Stocking figures with their car included. It would have been so cute if I got them, but alas, I did not. So instead, we're still on day 2, by the way. I was going a little bit forward, but we're back on day 2. The Panty and Stocking world premiere. They announced the figures. The figures went on sale on day 3, but we're still on the figures. After the figures get announced, Cyberpunk 2 gets announced. That's kind of wild because basically they gave us basically it was their industry panel. It was Studio Trigger's industry panel. They were like, this is a Panty and Stocking world premiere, but like, hey, we have some other stuff going on too that we didn't get to talk about at all this con so far yet. Here it is. Just frozen in our face. New figures, new separate other series getting greenlit for a season 2. And then the panel actually ends. And I go to dinner at Yard House. Yard House is like right across the Peacock Theater. So I'm just chilling, sitting with Lillian. Still in cosplay, by the way. I'm in cosplay. I'm in Panty and Stocking cosplay, by the way. I won't say what character it is, but it is a character in Panty and Stocking, which is rather recognizable. And right across me sits down none other than the entire Panty and Stocking production staff, and then some other folks also in Studio Trigger staff. Like, I could literally, and I did accidentally, make eye contact with the producer, director, and character designer of the new Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt franchise. And I'm just like, fuck. That's all I can think was like, why? Why am I seated right across them? Like, this is not like me purposely planning this, by the way. There was no elaborate plan. Like, we chose Yard House because it was the closest thing. They seated us immediately, and it was like literally right across the Peacock Theater. It was also, and like, by the way, I'm seated before them. I'm seated before these guys show up. So I'm already sitting in this table like approximately 5 to 10 feet away from them. And then they sit down and I'm just like if I could have, I would have bashed my head on the table. I wanted to. I really wanted to be like, do not perceive me. I do not wish to be perceived. But I cannot because I am literally in a cosplay like that is from these guys' series. And I know that they know I'm cosplaying from their series too. And essentially, I just spend my entire dinner just, like, not trying to think about them being here. And Lillian's just like, why don't you go up at, like, multiple points? And I'm just like, no. It'd be really rude to go up to them and, like, try to say hello while they're at a restaurant trying to enjoy their time after, like, probably a lot of work and just wanting to, like, decompress and enjoy their meal. Granted, some other random dude walks up to their table and says hi. So that's really cool. You know, drunk men, they just have whatever. I wish I had the confidence of a drunk man. Because I certainly did not have enough confidence to do that and walk up to them and say, I appreciate your work. Instead, I just kind of looked at them for my peripherals while enjoying a ahi tuna salad. But it's so nice to be back. Thank you, ouch. Oh my god. Sorry. My brain's still melting from that experience, by the way. You can tell how much I, like, hated being in front of them in that sense of being perceived, because I didn't want that to happen. Like, I just, my heart wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally, emotionally, physically prepared in any sort of way to experience that. And then it happens, and I'm just like, okay, sure, I guess. So I just spend my entire meal just like watching them in my peripherals. I don't greet them or anything, because again, I don't want to be that person who disrespects these people in their meal. So I don't say anything to them. I just acknowledge the fact that this has happened to me. Consider the fact that this will make a great story, and leave. Because it really is funny how that turned out. Like, this, it's just, it's serendipitous how things like that happen sometimes, even when you don't mean to. Like, there were a bunch of other cosplayers, by the way. There were a bunch of other cosplayers at that premiere. It wasn't just me. But out of all the cosplayers and all the fans, like, who came to this panel, who could have ran into them? It just happened to be me. It just happened to be me and Lillian. Just sitting right across them. While me and my Blaine cosplay. And so that concludes day 2. Day 3 is the My Hero Academia special event. So this panel occurs on the morning of day 3. So initially, this panel, I was supposed to go with Lillian, but Lillian was tired. So I went alone. I just decided, I'm just going to still go. I want to see what's happening. I genuinely don't even care if nothing special gets announced. I'm just here to vibe and see Yamashita Daiki and Justin Briner and see them two vibe as Midoriya Izuku's voice actors. That's kind of it. That's all I'm showing up for. Lillian is still not here with us, but I'm sure she's here in spirit. Hi, Lillian. I don't know if she's even here, even in the house, to be honest. For all we know, she's in chat, just vibing. So here are many pictures of me with my All Might Deku plush, taking photos. And then more Anime Expo architecture. Because, I don't know, I just really like stuff like this, where it's just like, I think there's an aspect of me that still likes photography, even though I never would really get into it that much. I like taking photos of stuff. It's like one of the things I thought about doing after I retired from cosplay fully was like, I'm going to be a photog and be that comfy photographer for other folks. But the My Hero Academia panel was very cute. There really wasn't a whole lot about it that wasn't already discussed earlier, before the panel. Like, the game was already announced. Season 8 trailer was already out. The exhibition was already mentioned. The main special part about it was the fact that you got to see these two voice actors bond over their role in person. That's kind of basically what happened. Like, we kind of got to experience, like, Yamashita Daiki's and Justin Briner's enthusiasm for My Hero Academia and for Midoriya Izuku and playing the role of Midoriya Izuku, essentially. Yamashita Daiki is so energetic, by the way. I actually have met him once, like, in person. Like, had a conversation with him because I actually was able to get his signature through a Funimation booth event at Anime Expo in 2018. So this is about 7 years ago. This is just when the first movie premiered at Anime Expo, and Yamashita Daiki actually had a special autograph signing by Funimation. This was not by Anime Expo. This was Funimation having a booth and having Yamashita Daiki basically sign the Two Heroes poster. And it was a really short conversation, by the way. Like, technically, I wasn't even supposed to be at that booth signing. I actually lucked out immensely at that booth signing because at the time, I didn't know that booth signing event was ticketed. So I was just wandering around the Funimation booth asking staff, like, hey, how do you get into this Funimation, like, booth event to talk with the voice actor to get, like, a handshake, like, do a meet and greet, basically. And they're like, oh, yeah, we don't really know. I think it was, like, a thing, like, you needed a ticket or something. Like, there, I was talking to volunteers at the Funimation booth, and some of them didn't even know about this thing. They were just like, oh, yeah, just stick around, and maybe we'll have answers for you by the time he shows up. And I was like, okay. And so people who actually have tickets to this event start lining up and showing up. And I'm still just, like, kind of wandering the booth. I'm literally just circling the booth. Just like, what do I do? How do I get into this? I just want to be able to get into this if I can, or just get answers of if I can't, because no one's answering my question about this thing. And then these two lovely women, both walk up to me while I'm kind of like chilling next to the Funimation booth, as they're like, "Hey, are you trying to get into this booth signing to get like to meet with Yamashita Daiki, the Japanese voice actor, and Midoriya Izuku?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I am." And they basically just like offered me their extra ticket. Like, they were just like, "Do you want our extra ticket?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Oh, well, our friend decided not to go, and we have an extra ticket. So do you want it?" And I'm just like, "Yes." Because that's all I can really say to that. It's just, yes. What am I going to do? Say no? And so, of course, I just get in line with them because they have an extra ticket. And this ticket event, by the way, did not have like a minimum or maximum of tickets you could buy. So you could have bought technically all of them, and it would have been yours. They had 3. They were 2 people, and they had an extra ticket, and I lucked out. And that is when I got to speak with Yamashita Daiki really quickly. Just saying thank you for coming all this way to America. Really appreciate it. And he was very surprised and happy with the fact that I was able to speak Japanese. And of course, that's how it always is with that sort of interaction. And I'm just like, he basically was just like, "Wow, the Nihongo Jozu." And I'm just like, "Yeah, it's because I'm half. I can at least do some conversations." So he was super nice, by the way. And 7 years later, that energy hasn't died. So in the My Hero Academia special event, this guy is probably the biggest Midoriya Izuku fan. Like, he is probably a bigger fan than some of these folks who were sitting in the front rows and stuff. Like, he is as big of a fan, if not bigger, than some of a fan of the series as some people were. And this is the guy who's like voice acted them the whole time. This is the guy who's like basically like, he probably doesn't see that much of the American social media, like how the fandom can be a little heated sometimes, but he's definitely seen how the Japanese fandom gets heated, and he's like still just like, "I just like this series and my character a lot." And I think that's really, I'm glad, like, he's really, and this is just me talking about the Japanese VA still, I'm very glad he has not let like anything about none of the negative aspects of the My Hero Academia fandom affect him in any sort of way. Outwardly, maybe it's affected him to some degree, because I know some fandoms certainly affect their staff and artists at times. And I'm glad to see, like, Yamashita Daiki has just never really changed one bit. Like, he's still exactly the same as he was 7 years ago. He's a very kind and very energetic person, and I'm so glad I got to see him at this special event and see Justin Briner, because even it's interesting because I actually have never really seen much of the My Hero Academia series in English dub. I watch it mostly Japanese dub. But it's interesting to see how the two of them have taken this singular character and adapted them for their audiences. There's something about Japanese Midoriya Izuku that still, for me, hits better. But like, I could probably hit up the My Hero Academia English dub one of these days. Like, I don't think it would be that bad. My sister apparently started watching My Hero, so I'm kind of interested to see what her opinion is. We need to have a conversation about that. I need to speak to her about that. I'm curious. I'm like, why did you start this series? So it was very nice, the panel. I got to see the My Hero Academia Season 8 preview again. This time on the big screen. It was a very nice preview, by the way, on the big screen. So here's me taking more pictures. And that was basically my last panel of the entire convention. So after that, it was just me chilling, walking around. And then taking more photos of things I liked and looked at, such as, this Rudo picture. As My Hero Academia actually ends basically in this next year, I am probably going to start adopting Rudo as like my next, like, this is the new child that I will be defending for the foreseeable future as animes begin to air. Like, I was kind of I was thinking about it earlier of just like, I think I made a natural progression of like main character sons to adopt, where we went from Midoriya Izuku to Rudo. Like, just full throttle. Just like, yeah, I would kill for these two. uh, and then some more stuff from Day 3 that caught my eye, like this Ghost in the Shell structure that was really cool. Kodansha really popped off with their structures. It was really cool. And then this other one, Kill Tube. It's a movie that's coming out? A show? I don't know. I just thought the art was really cool. It's also like more graffiti stuff, which I think I'm kind of into right now. So that was day 3, and then we have day 4, where I take more photos of my son. It was pretty chill, consider all things considered. Like, we didn't. This was the last day, so this was basically a half packing day, half like, okay, time to check out the con one last time. So most of it was just doing some last minute errands. And then experiencing the Toho animation booth, which was like a 4-5 series like photo op scenario, which was really fun actually. There's also games. There's a bunch of games you could try out too. So it wasn't just you taking photos the whole time. It's kind of like a little exhibition thingy, which was really cute. But of course, I had to get photos of the All Might statue, which my son, because this is kind of like, for one, this is really cool. 2, I don't think we're ever gonna get this again. This thing's not gonna be at Anime Expo next year or at any convention. I don't think it's, maybe after, once the series, while the series is airing, they'll have this at conventions. But after the season basically stops airing, this is going to a building somewhere, like, just be on display. Like, this will never show up at a convention center again. But yeah, look how tiny he is. He's so tiny. And then there's this Bakugo sticker. I don't know who put that there. I don't know if it was on purpose or some staff or put it there, but I thought that was really cute tidbit. And then that was my message, because everyone got to write a message on a wall that says "We love All Might," and then I wrote "Sarani Mukoe," which is like the first part of Go Beyond plus Ultra, that stuff. But what's that voice? I think that's the music, isn't it? Is it too loud? I'll lower it if it's too loud. Hopefully that's better now. I think that's better. Let me know if it's not. Cause I was like, cause I'm like, I was kind of the only voice speaking up until this point, but then we also have this song. Maybe like change it. That might be better. Let me know if it's not. Let me know if you're still hearing a random voice, which, like, that's kind of scary if that's the case. Anyways, that had happened. And then after the exhibition, we kept walking around for a little bit. There was this really cool booth we saw called Parks and Normal. I just think this is a really ingenious and creative booth from an architecture standpoint. Again, I was very inspired by a lot of architecture at this convention, to be super honest. We're good. I had a window open. Oh, I thought it was me. But turns out it was you. Why you gotta jump scare me like that? But yeah, Parks and Normal. Pretty cool knitwear that they had going on with shorts. I think I'd buy the knitwear when it gets a bit colder. But this was a nice booth. This was a cool booth. I think just the way they utilized the space that they had was really smart because everything's just tall and it's not too much. So I thought, yeah, that's a dope booth. And then here's more Gacha stuff. They did so much marketing for this series. They threw so much money on this. Like, you wouldn't have known any other series was coming out except for Gacha, man, because of how much promotional material they had for this series. But personally, I had no complaints. And then Kuromi and My Metal, last minute appearance from them. Sorry for the really blurry picture. This was taken from a video. So, I don't have anything better than this. My bad. Sorry. I got a photo up with them. So, that was cool. It was really last minute, too. They were like, yeah, they're coming out like 2:45, 15 minutes before the convention closes. So, this is kind of your last time to take a photo with them if you want. So, I was like, oh, okay. We'll stick around for this. So, that was really fun. That was cute. And then this. I got this really last minute. So, this is the Gachiakuta new type issue. This is probably the last issue that Crunchyroll had at their booth because I completely forgot this was something they were giving out, first of all. Crunchyroll's giving out free swag, and I completely forgot that they were giving this out until literally the last day. So on the last day, Lillian and I decided to just check out the Crunchyroll booth just to see, hey, maybe they're still giving out free swag, and maybe they're still giving out free copies of this. And then, as we walk through the swag booth, basically, wait 1 second. Hello. You want to join me for AX recap? Huh? You could share your perspective. Sure. On your mic? You could come into Discord and share your perspective too. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Lillian's here. Hi. She'll be hopping on real quick. Oh, okay. Take your time. No rush. I should probably, honestly, it's kind of warm in here, so I'm going to get the AC on real quick. Wait. Oh, that's not meant to show up. 1 sec. PNG, go away. Go away. Here we go. Anyways, where was I? This is basically day 4, but we're basically gonna recap this entire experience. Now that basically we have another perspective here on the channel. You're so large on my screen right now. Also, no one can hear you, so we're gonna fix that. No one can hear you yet.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, you said hello and no one could hear you yet. Okay, now people can hear you.
Okay, hello.
Yes, hello. So, as you came in, basically I just wrapped up, but we can talk about AX again with this time with your perspective. I was just talking about how I got the Gacha new type issue.
On the last day, yeah, the lady like hunted you down even. Like we were already walking the way and like halfway like away from the booth, like through the booth. And then she just like comes up to us, taps you on the shoulder and goes, "Here." Like drops it and leaves. Doesn't even wait for you to grab the whole thing and you just drop it on the floor. We're
She
like, "Oh shit.
really,
Is that what we think it is?" And it
that is
was.
really what she did. It's like literally what is probably the last issue unowned by anybody in the entire convention center. She just like plops it on the floor and like disappears. And I'm just like, okay, all right. I like, I don't even like say anything initially. I think I'm like kind of squealing as this happens because I kind of don't believe that that's actually the issue. And then I pick it up and I'm like, wait, that's the thing. And then I kind of like wipe it off. But it was very much just like, this feels appropriate considering the series.
But also like she was so done because it was like the last day of
She was
AX
done, but
and
her colleague was way more done. Her colleague
yeah, I
was
know.
just like, she shut me down so hard because when we were doing the initial like walkthrough, I asked her colleague about like, hey, do you have this issue left? And she's just like, no. I'm like, okay. And I just I don't take it personally. I'm just like, this is the last day. People are tired. So we both left, and then like the fact that her coworker comes to us with that, and she's like, here. I'm like,
It's
they're
like
done,
yeah.
but they still had
Yeah.
some compassion left in them. They could recognize like I really wanted it. But I wasn't gonna be mean about it or anything. I'm sure there were some folks who were kind of mean about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
AX
but
was a blast. We gotta go back. Every year I go through this cycle. We're like, oh, we're not going to AX, but we're gonna AX, and then so
yeah,
now like, no, we're going back to AX. This year was so good that I was
it
like,
was
no questions.
really
We're going
good.
back.
I've never. This is the first time in a long time I attended this many panels, and I enjoyed every single one. Like, um, can you see my screen? I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
So I went through the
Oh damn, you
entire thing.
posted.
Okay, this is off today because I did not make a live thread, which in hindsight was kind of my fault because I guess not many people knew I was at Anime Expo. I'm gonna try to do better. Maybe I don't know. Some folks I guess wanted to try meet up, but I'm also like the type of person at Anime Expo who's just like, or actually in general at conventions, I'm the type of person who's just like, if you see me, you see me. If you don't, next time.
I'm very much of the proponent, having had stalkers before. Make one post saying you're there, and then you don't post any other photos until like at least 2 days after it has already happened, because that's an easy way for people to
Yeah,
track
I
you.
also like just don't like posting stuff literally live in the moment
Not
because
even
of just
live. Like
like
you wait a couple days because if they know your habits, they can guess what you're going to do next and like try to run into you. You
that's
know,
true. I've
those can
I've
creep.
unfortunately seen some folks like literally experience that in
So
real time.
that's my stance. Like, don't post things until a minimum of 2 days later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I usually like I think Afkai posted things like a day after, 2 days after.
Yeah.
AX though, everything was posted today because I was too lazy to post that all during con. So yeah,
Like,
from your perspective, we can start back from day zero because I feel like day zero I did nothing. You kind of did the bulk of the work.
okay, so how day zero? Like,
You drove a lot. you
so I
that's what
guess
I'm
the
saying. You
first
did the
part,
bulk of the work.
I was still cause crunching morning of day zero, so I think I was like cause crunching until 3, try to
Yes,
make a cosplay for a
that's
friend. But like
true.
it didn't end up working out because okay, so okay, I have to backtrack a little. So for me, during off Kai, I was all like, okay, off Kai was so lit, and I really wanted a particular friend to cosplay. And
Mhm.
I was all like, damn, she did a VTuber and she didn't do it for the VTuber con. So I'm gonna try my best so that she can at least get it for AX.
Mhm.
And so I made the decision after Offkai to cos crunch so that she could do her cosplay for AX. But then I was on track to finish on time, but I think 2 days on like the Monday before we headed out, I tried putting everything together and I realized that I forgot to add seam allowance to the waist so that, when you put on a dress, you can go over your boobs or over your hips so that you can wear the dumb cosplay outfit. So then originally I had decided to make it a two-piece, but then I
Yeah.
realized, wait, no, this person needs to get ready in like 15 minutes or less in the morning. I should probably make it a one-piece.
Yeah.
And so I ended up taking it all apart on Monday
Uh.
after finishing completing it, realizing that I needed to adjust for the seam
Oh.
allowance. And so
I see.
I lost the whole day and a half worth of work essentially from that.
Yeah, I see why
Trying to
it
redo it.
wasn't completed.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then
because I think by the
yeah.
time I got the three, actually,
Mhm.
the reason why you stopped cross crunching is because I finished packing at three.
No, because I am the only one driving, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
but
realized,
like
like,
I said
safety,
the
I gotta
time.
be awake.
I mentioned the time and we were both just like, okay, we should go to sleep.
No, I had a hard cutoff at like 3:30. I was
Okay,
like, no
that's
matter
good.
what, I had to sleep
Okay,
that
at
day.
least you had your
I'm
own
not
hard. You
irresponsible.
had your own internal hard. You had your own
Yeah.
internal stop time. But like when I told you it was three, you seemed surprised it was three.
I had my alarm to go off at 3:30, so I didn't
Ah,
realize
okay.
how much time had already passed. I thought I had like maybe another like hour or something
Nah,
to
man.
keep going, but no.
It
Time had
was
moved faster.
time moved
Yeah,
fast. It was
time did move
fast.
fast. But I did already have a hard cutoff.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
that's good. Yeah. So that was day -1 technically.
yeah, so I was so tired that I
Packing.
like woke up day zero and I'm like, okay, no, I ain't finishing this cause crunch. I just messaged my friend, it ain't gonna make it. I fucked up 2 days ago. Thought I could finish, couldn't finish. Sorry.
Yeah, but
I'll
she was
fix it
chill
for another
about it.
con. No, she was super chill because she didn't even expect me to be able to cause crunch it out as much as I did in between off Kai and then.
That's true. It was like
Yeah.
2 weeks, a week and a half, really.
Yeah. Well, artists don't really know how cracked cosplayers can be, and
Can't. Yeah, this is
cosplayers don't know
true.
how cracked artists can be. Because, like,
That's
we are of
true.
the same vein of the same type of people, just in a very different field.
That's true.
But
She
then
was
because you
very
keep doing it,
surprised about the
yeah,
tank top I made, and I was like, I don't know what you mean. I feel like this is.
it's standard for us. It's
I know. I
standard.
was like, I had to think about it. I was like, what do you mean? This is like this is really quick, but also like some people can do quicker.
Yeah.
But again, two different types of work, same creative like drive, but different outputs. Yeah.
Yeah. I also know that she was also up late that night, drawing on her iPad while her SO was driving her over. But it's okay. We're the same type of people.
Again, creative, same creative drives, different outputs.
Yeah. So, we drive down day zero, and then we
Yes.
got there a little late because I just entirely forgot to take care of the cat. So we originally were supposed to like leave early morning, but then we didn't end up leaving till like 1 p.m. just because I had to do chores, house chores.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
can't
mean, like,
abandon
we
the
weren't
cat
exactly
in
in like
the
a
snow.
rush to do anything.
Well, yeah, we didn't really have anything planned, but we got there a little too late to schedule merchandise pickup. So we had to push a
Merchandise
lot of
pickup?
things to date. So you didn't have to worry about any of this. This is all things I have to worry about because I
Oh, my
had
bad.
all of the items
Oh, right, right,
and planning pickup and stuff like that.
right.
So we couldn't do any of that, so I delayed it until essentially day one, saying like, oh, if you guys really need something, I'll haul it to con on day one, or you can pick it
Yeah.
up some other time throughout con. So in the end, we just like said, fuck it, just go with the
We
flow,
ball.
and we went to get sushi. That
We
was pretty good.
did, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good bang for your buck sushi. The only thing that pissed me off is the rice kept
The
falling
rice was
apart.
pretty
What kind of
shit.
sushi falls
Thank you
apart
for
from the
reminding
rice?
me how shit the rice was, man.
Yeah.
It
The fish
was
quality was
it
decent
was
though.
great. Like I'm looking at the
Yeah.
photos again. I'm like, yeah, that was good tuna. I was like,
Nah,
that was
man,
a
that's
good.
your flash. That's your camera quality,
It
not the
was good
fish
tuna
quality.
though. It was good tuna.
It was seasoned. You wouldn't notice if it was fresh or not fresh because it was freaking marinated,
Okay,
okay?
but I really like this tuna. This
The
tuna
marinade
was
was so good.
good.
It was good.
This
Yeah.
was good tuna. And then I didn't really care too much for like the hotate, but I did like the yellowtail a lot. And the ama
I
emi.
loved I loved the scallop. The
It was just
yellowtail was mid in
okay.
my mind.
It was okay. The salmon with the sesames was mid. It was
Yeah.
so mid.
I just felt the yellowtail on mine was just it felt dried out. Like that sushi
Really?
slice had like been sitting there for a hot minute before it
Oh.
got to us.
Mine was pretty
Yeah.
okay. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Rex.
Hi,
Hello.
Al. Hi, Rex. Sorry, I did not look at chat.
Yeah, I just looked over too. Just like
Yeah.
double checking. I'm like, oh, how's chat doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, though, for how much we paid for, worth. Worth.
Worth. A solid price point to what you got. Yeah.
Yes. And you
Yeah.
also ordered uni as well.
Oh yeah, I always get uni because it's one of my favorite types of buttery textures, and it's just like with the seafood flavor, it's just so nice. So it's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Also like since there's an sea urchin infestation problem in SoCal, like uni is significantly cheaper there versus all the rest of America. Period. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I almost always try to get some uni when I'm down in
You can't feel
the
guilty about
LA
having
area.
uni in California because there's just an
Yeah,
abundance of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I actually did manage to find a place where you can go pick up a whole ass tray of uni for like $20. So then next time you
Oh.
go to AX, maybe next year, I'm a pre-order a tray and grab like 10 pounds of uni pre-cracked for $20. Let's do it. Yeah.
We have to get like a proper hotel with a proper fridge then. Maybe we should just try for a suite.
You mean I'm just gonna stuff my face and regret my problems later and just consume it all? I
Okay.
don't care about my cholesterol. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna consume all that
Okay.
uni.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
And
Or
so that
mm,
concludes day one.
that
Yeah.
that was
You went
day
back.
0.
Day zero. Day one,
Yeah.
day zero. Same difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Day 1, I think you cosplayed. I casual cost.
Day one. Oh yeah, I
Yes.
cosplayed.
Yes, I did not
Oh,
mention what my cosplays were because doxing. Literally, the two cosplays I did are a little bit too distinct for me to mention, unfortunately.
I was in Genshin. I think that's enough info. Enough said, because just saying Genshin, you'll know like the complications of how complicated Genshin cosplays
You
can be.
were a
It's
very
enough
heavy
detail.
cosplay.
Yeah.
Like not like heavy in weight, just heavy in like the amount of prep it takes.
Well, I took off half the accessories, and there were still like a shit ton of
Yeah.
accessories. You couldn't even tell I was only wearing half the
Yeah,
accessories.
no, I couldn't. Well, granted, I'm not even familiar with the person you were costing. I'm only
Me
familiar with the
neither.
people I cost in Genshin, and I'm just like, okay, here are the tiers of like, this is how much accessory this person takes, and this is how much time I have to allocate. But either way, most of the time you're usually losing at the least, because unless you're really comfortable with your Genshin cosplay, you're losing somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour just getting ready in the cost itself. Not even like makeup.
I think I got ready in an hour and 15 minutes for the Genshin cosplay. So yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I also lost a piece of the cosplay, but it's okay. I was planning to get rid of all the metal parts and 3D replace them with like lighter weight 3D prints
Okay.
eventually. So now I just have more motive to
Do it. Not that you're missing a
yeah,
piece.
to go steal a 3D printer and get that done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anime Expo Pog. It was very Pog.
Yeah.
AX
It was
was
fun.
very Pog. There was a lot. It was really overly stimulating day 1. Like, I think it only took like 5 minutes in exhibitors for me to feel like, oh, I am overstimulated. Goodbye now.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary how quickly that actually clicked. Of like, huh, overstimulation.
Okay. What else
Yeah.
have I done? We went to
Beer
see
garden.
Beer Garden and I got the squid teppanyaki. It was so fucking delicious. It was perfectly cooked and the guy grilled it and actually pressed it down so you still got that like nice char while it was still soft in the middle. Like, ooh, that's good teppanyaki. It was the size of my face too. It was really
I don't
big.
have pictures of this, sorry. I took pictures
It
of
is
my
okay.
food.
I took pictures of my food, but it would dox because there are identifying features in the photos I took.
I
So
see.
yeah, because I mean, I took photos to put on Snapchat so that it would be like insta deleted and of course
Understandable,
it,
understandable.
not really for socials. I don't really
Yeah,
do socials.
yeah.
I should, but I don't.
Honestly, I think if I went to your Twitter, it's just mostly me tagging you and stuff.
I mean, that's totally fine with me. Thanks for doing my shit for me.
But it's like it's not even like everything. It's just like, oh, I tag you for this photo, or I tag you for a random ass thing. Like when we do streams and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. That's more than enough. Especially when I'm still in pre-debut, so it's
It's
okay for
true.
now,
You are
right?
still in pre-debut, so it's fine.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. The live drawing was freaking
It
dope.
was
I
so
hated that
cool.
they made us wait out in the hot sun for the panel though, so that
It's
kind of
so
sucked.
fucked. It was so fucked.
Mhm.
But it was really cool, technically getting to meet the mangaka, even if it was just by accident.
Yeah.
There were a lot of accidental encounters, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize how many gachakuta photos I was taking until, like, really, I started making this thread. I was like, wow, I guess I'm really gonna like this series for a while. Do you sometimes stutter on games because of having two screens? For some reason, it started happening to me as soon as I set up another screen.
So generally you're going to have to check your connection through your BIOS to make sure that you are using the right type of
Gachakuta pod.
the right type of converter to make sure your second screen doesn't sputter, essentially. So it's just like how your CPU is essentially choosing to thread information to your two PCs.
Yeah.
One is just getting too much a delay,
You
which
mean
is
two
why it's stuttering.
screens?
Oh yeah, monitors,
Yeah,
screens,
you
same
said
difference.
PCs. I heard PCA. I don't know if anyone
Oh,
else.
sorry, your PC to your monitors. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would just check your connection and how it's being throttled, essentially.
Yeah.
I used to have that issue when I was doing a VGA to HDMI because that has a slower conversion rate. But
Mm,
then when I switched it to VGA and DisplayPort for my PC, it worked fine after that.
yeah.
Yeah, my HDMI to VGA conversion rate for my PC was just too slow, way too slow.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
But yeah, Gachakuta pod.
yeah, we also did the FF14 booth,
Oh yeah, we
and
did do that. I forgot about
that
that.
was the clusterfuck because like
Yeah, it
they were sending
was.
people away even though there were like plenty of seat. Okay, this pissed me off because they did the thing where like they clear out the entire row of people before they sit new people in, and that's just like a waste of people's time because some people were taking like 40 minutes to go through this character creation because they want to like perfect it. And like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
power to you, do it because that's the whole point of this demo. But like
Mm-hmm.
kind of screw the organizers to not just like feeding people in and just wasting everyone's in line's time.
Yeah.
Because generally for because I try all the game demos whenever I go to AX every year. I do every single one. And I would be spending 20 minutes in line for a 20-minute playthrough. It's like one to one essentially. But I think we ended up spending close to 40 minutes because we waited to wait in
Yeah.
line and then
Yeah.
waited in line. And then the character creation, since we already play, only took like 10 minutes. And there wasn't even any like additional content. It was just like the Dawn
Oh,
Trail trailer they played
yeah.
to do it. And so I was like kind of upset that they didn't really have anything like cool for returning players just to like showcase something cool. The knickknacks and gifts were like on point, but the whole
Yeah.
overall experience just wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
it.
And then
Yeah,
you
it's a
got
little
interviewed.
lackluster. Oh yeah, they pulled me off aside, to like, oh, go grab the cosplayer for maybe good footage potentially. I don't know what they're gonna do with that footage. They say they may use it for promo, they may not. But it's definitely gonna go to the research and development team so
Yeah,
that they
I
know
hope
how
it
to
does,
advertise
cause
everything for AX.
yeah, cause
Um,
it's like okay, you gave actual feedback. Like you went through like you spent so long in your interview. I watched you do your interview, kind of waited for a bit, pondered over the fact of like, should I just pick up my merch first, and then went to pick up my merch before you finished,
yeah, that's because they were asking really in detailed questions, and
which is
I kind of
good.
regret, like, I wish I did that interview, like, at least like 10 minutes later to process everything, because I
Mm,
would have given them so much more feedback of like what they could have
mm,
actually done better. I was just still processing during the time of the interview, so I didn't really
that's
know what to
true.
say. So
That's
like that,
understandable.
yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but it's
Yeah,
okay. They got what they got. Yeah,
yeah.
I think another reason they picked me because the lady saw how many characters I had on FF14. I have I have 10 max to Endwalker characters. on FF14, and she looked at it and she's like, "Oh, how long have you been playing for?" Like, she knew that was just like time that I had
She was
been playing
like, I was
game
like, oh,
for.
you invested in this game.
You invested, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you wanna burst. You know, it's just natural progression because you need alts to feed into other characters. Natural progression.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is that's so many. I think it's like easy to forget that when we do our playthrough because like I'm over here just like, okay, just MSQ, go, and you're just trying to like keep me from like doing just the basics.
I mean, you can do just the basics, but you're gonna get bottlenecked so hard at the
No, but
very
like
end.
you keep me on track of like just doing the basics, so I don't forget about even not doing the basics because I
Oh, that's
forget
true. That's
about
true.
that. I'm like I
Yeah.
forget about doing job quests.
It's okay. You don't have to worry about them in the next X pack. I
I
think. I think it's
know.
just a job story, and it's just also story blocked. So
Yeah,
you're gonna have to do them anyway.
I
So you
will.
won't forget.
It'll
They will
force me
tell
to.
you.
They
Yeah, they'll
figure
force
at some point during these expats, they probably figured out user error of like, oh, we should make this a natural transition, not a go out of your way thing, because users like me will experience user error. Like
Yeah.
this is again referencing back to completing a quest that requires what was it? What was it? What's that one AOE?
Oh, holy! You
Oh
freaking
yeah.
did the thingy without unlocking holy or using holy at all.
When
I'm
the
just like,
whole quest
what
is
the heck?
literally like a prompt for you to basically just spam holy. Instead,
Yeah.
I just ran around spamming like
Stone and
stone and
arrow. Stone and arrow. You're
stone
done.
and
Just
arrow
use
and like
stone.
self heal.
I think the only reason why you managed to complete it is because it's unsynced now. So technically, we were way over leveled for the quest. But if we weren't,
Oh,
there's
but
no
also I just
way.
didn't. I didn't die. I kept healing myself.
Yeah, that's
It
true
was
too.
just a pure like timing thing. But yeah, I hope FF takes that feedback sincerely because you gave them the full spiel and then some.
Yeah. No, they definitely did. They were really receptive. They were just hoping I would give them a little more, but it
Mm,
was just too short notice. I didn't process
yeah,
in time to give them a little more.
yeah.
But if they ever have another survey, I'll totally give them ideas about what they could do.
Mm,
It'd be so cool if they hired a cosplay bait or get like actual cutout of all the waifus of FF14 that you could do. It's like a
that's
more elaborate
true.
photo op. I
Cause,
would love
cause
that.
the photo op was very nice, but it was very
It was
simple.
so aesthetic, but it was not anything game related. It was
It was
very
simple.
generic photo op related.
Yeah, in comparison to
Yeah.
I think other venues, it's not venues,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
vendors that like really pulled like so much effort. Like actually
Yeah.
like this image, this is a photo op. This is technically a photo op image that you could take photos of.
Of
Uh
life-size cutouts and everything. Yeah.
yeah, like you like I just don't tend to like take photos in front of photo ops. I just like taking photos of the builds themselves because I think they're cool. Like this is a photo op for Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah.
but I think it just looks cool. The All Might statue is also a photo op, but as you can see, I did not take a photo. If I
It's
was
okay.
in my hero cosplay, I probably would have, but I wasn't. Instead, I had my plushie that was in my hero cosplay. He was in All Might cosplay.
Yeah.
uh, but it was good. And then after I think FF, we went straight to the Gacheta panel after a little bit more wandering. And
Yeah,
like you
we also
said, it
did
was a
some
clusterfuck.
AA stuff too. We
Yes,
did.
we
Yeah.
did stop by
Hmm.
A for a bit.
Yeah.
Just stopping by to honestly just visit friends and then immediately leave.
Oh, we were dropping off
Yeah,
sustenance
we
and
didn't do
supplies.
anything in AA. That's why there's like nothing about AA in this thread because I didn't go into it at all. If there was
Yeah.
something that was really overstimulating, it was the artist alley. Ah, so
Yeah.
many people.
Yeah. Also, the fact that every other area is AC'd except for Artist Alley, because technically Artist Alley is in a freaking overflow parking lot area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they never consider putting in any sort of like ventilation.
They just can't. There's literally
They
no
could throw in like
infrastructure
a
for
they
it.
could throw in some industrial fans somewhere, right?
I have no idea where they would even set that up. Yeah, because all the outlets essentially are being used to light the artist alley because there are
That's
so many
true.
artificial lights.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if they could shut. They could, but it'd be really
Maybe
hard
that's some
anyway.
feedback to add. There's supposed to be like an AX feedback survey somewhere. I gotta look it up.
They have been getting the same feedback about the air quality since like day one.
Yeah, but I
It's been
have
how
other
many years?
feedback to contribute to this year for once besides
That's true
AA.
too.
Yeah, we'll get into that later because technically that's like day 3 feedback. Gotcha Extra
Yeah.
panel was cool. The feedback I have for that, how shitty the queue was. I already talked about it earlier, but what was your perspective of it? Because you were in cosplay when that happened.
The panel? Waiting in line in the
Yeah,
hot ass sun. It was,
yeah,
I think I would have been fine if I was like in a normal outfit, but just like having a full ass cosplay wig, my head was overheating quite a bit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we needed some sort of like overhang or canopy and it would have been chill, but
We were
there was
literally
nothing.
5 feet away from a canopy, and the staffer
Yeah.
in charge of our queue said no.
No,
He
they
literally
literally
said
didn't.
like, "Nah, you gotta stay here," and like, "I'll DJ for
Yeah.
you," but it wasn't DJing. It was just the 8 Mile soundtrack.
No, he played various other things too, but just like nothing of notes. It was just generic dance music at the end of
Yeah,
the day. Kind of ravey, kind of convention-y, but not.
he was not very good at hyping up the crowd in the hot heat. He was not making the situation better.
He was not trying to make the situation better. He was just playing music that he vibed to. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Let's
why
be
I'm just
honest
like,
here.
that's why
He
I'm just
wasn't
like,
even DJing.
that's why I'm just like, no one cares.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was the panel. But at least when we got inside, it was really well air conditioned
it
and there
was.
wasn't overcrowded. So
No, it was
there was space and
it
breathable.
wasn't a full house for this panel, but it was still pretty full. I want to say at least 2/3 of the room was filled.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in theory, if you had came to this panel last minute, you probably could have still gotten in. But to get a good seat, you wanted to be there early. I think we
Oh, you just had to be like half an hour early in order to get a good seat. So it wasn't even
yeah,
that bad
which
of a
like
queue.
I think we were 45 minutes early.
Yeah, we are 45, but
Yeah.
like there was still plenty of good seats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was also like our first panel of the entire convention, so I had no idea what to expect. I was kind of
Yeah.
like, expect the worst, don't expect the best, but I still expect to get in, is what I expected.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
expect,
we got in, so
yes.
it's chill. Yeah. What
It
did
was
we
a
do
good
after
panel.
that?
I'm surprised how like still I think it's because of how like chill the panel was. Also, thank you for sending this photo, by the way. Um, I don't know what I was doing when this photo was taken, but thank you for taking it. They were really chill the whole time. Both the mangaka and the graffiti artist, both of them were really chill the whole time, and I really
Just their
appreciated.
personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. I think it's a
You could
contributor
tell
to
they were
it.
on vacay mode.
Yeah, they were just like we just happen to be in LA for
Yeah.
work, but like I hope they got to do the things they wanted to do in LA too, like actually getting a look at graffiti besides like what's near the convention center. Because there is a good amount of graffiti actually already near the convention center, but like they should get to see stuff besides that, you know?
Oh, they said they were planning to after the
Yeah, that's what I'm
convention,
saying. I
so
hope they did. I hope they got to do that. Because sometimes, you know, how like someone guests at Anime Expo, but then you see their tweets like the day after and it's like they're already back in Japan.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it didn't look like they were sent straight back. So, but I also did not see any posts that were just like, did you see other parts of LA? I don't know, but I hope you did. They've been doing more audience interaction too on their Twitter too, which is like really cool.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they were instructed to for promo purposes. Like, it was very night and day who did get PR training for these panels and who didn't get PR trainings for these panels.
No, but like I mean,
Um,
like after the series has aired now, like even though the AX is over, they're still responding to people like doing fan art or like doing cosplays and stuff. So I think it's really cool that it's like okay, yeah, it's only been a couple days, but like it seems very still to their brand that they're doing this. Hi Nari. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm still like, what's that word? Starstruck a little bit.
You are. You still are very, very starstruck and gushing.
I really like the series, so I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Give it a couple of like seasons, and for
No,
Bones to
we
fuck up somewhere, and then my perspective will shift.
we did manage to see the LA graffiti in Central. It wasn't until like the third day, day
No, it
three,
was the
that we
last
managed
day
to
we
see.
saw it.
I don't remember when.
I
Time
saw
blurs.
it day two. I saw it twice technically. I saw it one time Ubering to the My Hero panel, but I got a really
Uh-huh.
shitty picture of it. And then so when we took the bus on day four, that's when I took a video. And that was much
Uh,
easier to capture.
yeah.
I learned from my mistakes.
Yeah.
It was really good actually to see it all come together at the world
Oh
premiere
yeah,
panel.
during the panel.
Like
Yeah.
I knew these were happening, but I just thought, oh, cool, like graffiti for promotion, because they put a lot of
Ad
marketing to
break or
this.
no? Sorry, it popped up. Okay, you did. Okay.
Hmm?
I'm just wondering if you were gonna snooze that ad break or not.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
snoozed it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like going back to the graffiti. So this is like one out of I think four or five parts in total across the world. And it turns out it becomes like a message. And I thought it was just graffiti at first, but no, it's a message. Like actually a really cool message.
I think it's totally okay to spoil it because they would not figure it out otherwise.
It just
So
says I think
literally,
what did it say?
watch out world.
Yeah, watch out world.
Yeah, if you strung all of the photos together from all the
Yeah.
graffiti points, which was really
It
cool.
it was really cool. They have one in Tokyo, one in Taiwan, one in Brazil, one in Los Angeles, and I don't remember where the fifth one is.
Milan.
Milan. There it is. I was like, all I can remember was I think it was in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see at the premiere. And then we got pulled up to the front for questions as well.
Are those live streamed? Are those streamed
I have no
publicly?
idea. Don't worry about it.
Okay, anyway. Yeah,
Anyways,
so we went to go see the live premiere and
we
it
saw
was
the live
lit
premiere. It was
on
good.
yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think about it, to be honest, but I was also like, I can't care. I'm too happy to be here. Did you know Callie was at this too?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Mori Calliope went to see the premiere too. We were in the same room as her. But also, it's just like, that's very on brand. I was like, oh, yeah, honestly, if I had enough money to do something like that, I would do it. I hope she gets to, like, do something with Gachiakta. Who? Mori Calliope, of Hololive Ian Myth. She was at the Gachiakta premiere. She was
I mean, like I said,
incognito. Yeah, oh,
yeah.
Grim Reaper girl. Yeah. She was there, like, incognito, like, chilling. Like, she wasn't there as, like, an official guest or anything. She was just there to basically be a fan as well. So, you know, maybe she'll end up working on the series to some degree. She has the vibe for it, so I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the animators were like, yeah, let's just pull Mori Calliope in for, like, an opening or an ending or, like, something. But then we had the Peach Pit panel. After that, we had 3 panels in one day. And
Did we
still
do
time to
Peach Pit
spare.
panel that day?
We did
We did the
Gachiakuta
Peach
World
Pit.
Premiere, Peach Pit
Yeah.
panel, and then Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt World
Oh yeah,
Premiere.
in the
2
evening.
world premieres in one day.
It was worth it. They were both
Oh yeah,
really,
absolutely.
really good premieres and really good pre-panels.
They were great. And the Peach
Yeah.
Pit one was like a nice, like, very relaxing between the two. Like, it was still, that one was a full house as well. That was a full house panel.
Both of them were really
think
crowded.
all 3 panels were full. But Peach Pit was definitely the one that was I think initially I think we both were like, oh, this panel's gonna be really small, and then we walk up into the entrance and then we're like, no. Turns out everyone who didn't get into the queue was just waiting up front this whole time.
Yeah, but then in the end, I think a lot of them didn't get in because they didn't walk around fast enough to get into the panel room. I don't know if they let them in at the end.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
because apparently I was I met some people when I was help tabling.
Yeah.
They didn't they got turned away if they went through the double doors and didn't go all the way outside to quote unquote line up. So like even
Oh.
after the outdoor line finished, they didn't just randomly let people into the panel room, unfortunately.
I mean, that's
Yeah, so essentially you cannot show up late to a panel
yeah.
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense just from like a respect standpoint and a
Like
distraction
it's
standpoint,
respect
but
and
like that's
equity that
sad.
they're trying to like keep, I think at
No,
that
but I feel like
point.
there's space. They should just fill up the space.
Yeah.
Especially if they're just filling back seats,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
some folks aren't trying to get into the front for like a photo opera cuz also photos were not allowed at this panel.
Yeah.
More so, if anything, it's like anybody who was at the Peach Pit panel is kind of there for everyone was there because they really enjoyed a series from these guys
Yeah.
because it was their 25th anniversary, and except for like they haven't came up with new materials between 2024 and 2010 20. I don't remember when Shigokera originally ended, but it was like
Way later than that. They did not have that
early
long of a break.
no, they had at least 10 years, didn't they? One thing that kind of sucks about not being able to Shigokera Shigokera publication ended original run December 28, 2005 to August 3rd, 2010.
There were no in between there was shit. So they released like chapters and stuff like that, but no full on publications. So like they gave like bonus chapters essentially in
Yeah, like
between.
Encore and stuff, but like Encore
Yeah.
also came out in 2010.
Mm,
Like basically the series ended in the early 2010s. And then Peach Pit didn't come out for anything until Jewel Joker in 2024. Maybe they had some smaller works here and there, but no like major manga publications.
yeah, no major manga publications.
So essentially like the Western fandom was living off of like early 2000s to early 2010 works for like their entire 25 years until like 2024. Like the fandom just sustained themselves with that material this whole time. So anybody who was coming to that panel, it was just because
Oh wait, no.
passion.
They no, the small mini series came out 2015. Wandering Wonder World came out 2015 to 2017. Um, that's the one that just never popped off.
Oh, okay.
And then Nishina Tensuro wa Suriri Shinai.
Oh, okay. That's
That came out
one.
2017, 2018.
Okay,
And
so they did
then
have a couple other things.
yeah, and then in 2019 they did Sei Sonagon to Moshimasu. Yeah. Yeah, they had stuff.
They had a couple things.
Yeah, they had 3 full series. None of them that popped off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was really sad that the 3 most recent series didn't pop off, and when we went on day 3 after the Pit panel, the artwork for those still didn't sell.
Yeah.
That is a little sad because that is their more recent works too.
I wonder how much of that is also, again, from a lack of marketing.
I 100% believe it was a lack of marketing.
Yeah, I wonder
I
what.
started looking into Wandering Wonderworld, and the concept's pretty dope. I right now I kind of like it. I
Mm,
just didn't know about it.
yeah, I purely thought they were just like not working on anything.
Oh, they did.
They were. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
you can definitely
4
see
volumes.
images of like technically in this picture, the main character is the one with the broom in this photo here.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit of a shame, but
Essentially, then basically what sustained them for like 15 years was all of their popular series before that. Which is kind of
I feel
crazy.
like copyright is the reason why they shot themselves in the foot, essentially, or the publishers
In
did.
like you think
Yeah,
internationally or also
internationally, a
yeah, I
lot
was
of
gonna
their
say
stuff.
like in Japan, I think they were doing just fine.
Not internationally though.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if
yeah,
they
that's
wanted more
true.
recognition internationally, they shot themselves by being so hard-strung about no translations and shooting down fan art essentially.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's okay.
It's fine. It was a cute panel. They were very nice, at least in the midst of the panel.
Yeah, they are nice. Their team though is very Japanese. Okay, so when you
Yeah.
went to the Peach Pit Gallery, to be fair, we were there on day 3, and essentially they had like a table full of quote unquote
No, this was day
um
2, by the way.
day 2. Oh, okay,
This
day
wasn't
2.
even day 3. This was day 2, and
Okay,
already
so
so
day
much
2.
stuff is sold out.
Yeah, but essentially they had a whole bunch of stuff on the table that they intended to give away as gifts to people who spent a certain amount of money. Um, but you were completely unable to buy those things that they left out as like essentially they laid it out like artist alley industry like you it's like you would lay it out to sell like because
Yeah.
normally if it's just for display you only leave one other thing out and then you just say display only on table,
Yeah.
right?
Not the
Um,
entire stock.
no, they mixed it in with the stuff that they were intending to sell. So like it was on the same table that you were like so you could buy a t-shirt, a fan, and just like two other things. I don't even know what they were because they were sold out already. So
I
you
think it
could
was art. It
buy
was a
other things.
pamphlet. It was a pamphlet. So an
Oh,
actual
the
art
art book.
book. The
Yeah,
art
yeah, an
book.
actual art book. Yeah, and you could buy other things, and they left it on the exact same table because essentially you're supposed to grab the gifts if you bought enough stuff to purchase the items. But once everything sold out, they didn't put away the things that were left as gift items. So they were literally taunting you with things on the table that were like
Yeah.
really cool to look at, but you could not buy it. And you
I
cannot
wonder what they ended
yeah,
up doing after day 3 or after day 2 after we left.
it was the same. You could look at it and that was it.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it feels really bad manners to have something that you can look at but like never obtain, especially when it's like displayed in like in a way that is like intent for
It's
sale.
also Japan exclusive merch, which means it's never gonna come out in the US officially. It's only
Yeah,
available in a specific location that's gonna run from July 18th to August 14th, as you can see here on this little poster.
yeah, you would literally have to go to Tokyo right now in order to get that the merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we still bought a fan at the end of the
Yes.
day because that's all that was
That was
left.
all that was
But
left because all the other there were prints that they were selling, like
for
literally drafts.
$300,
Drafts. But like
yeah,
but all of them had sold except for like 3.
3, and that's from like their newer series essentially.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was just the Peach Pit panel. And then we went back to the hotel, got ready for panty and stocking, and then came back to con.
Yeah. Oh, ad break.
Yeah, but I mean, we can just keep going. A lot
Yeah,
of this
go
I
ahead.
did talk about too. We're just
Yeah.
kind of repeating things from your perspective. Unless you want us to go on break, we can go on break.
No, it's fine. I just got here. I'm not tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really tired either.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
Hello.
god!
Hello. Ah, shit. It's an ad break though.
It's okay. Uh, maybe we should take a pause.
Hi.
Hi, I
Hello.
don't
I'm so
don't even see. I
sorry.
don't even know.
The ad break doesn't end for another 2 minutes, but thank you, Raiders, for stopping by. Thank you. She just realized too.
Yes. It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll wait the 2 minutes. Yeah. I guess we can
Yeah.
talk about other shit in the meantime. I don't know.
I mean, how'd you feel about the gallery otherwise, though? Because, I
It
mean,
was
a lot of
really
the
cool.
content from the beginning we already saw for the panel.
I really appreciated that they kept the sold artworks there in the gallery essentially until the
True.
very end.
True.
Because like being able to see exactly how the ink is laid on the original drafts is like something like because the layering tells a story about how they created the artwork, right? At
That's
the end of the
true.
day. And it was really nice to be able to see that from the original copies and then the type of tones they used and everything. That's really cool.
Mm-mm.
But then now I'm also confused because it was advertised that all those pieces that they sold in the gallery was the same gallery that they were intending to bring back
That's what I was thinking about, too. I'm like,
to
wait a
Tokyo. So how
second.
does that work? Are they just gonna give them a copy of the original and bring that? actual original Back to
I have
Tokyo,
no idea,
or yeah,
man.
because I
I have
feel like
no
there's
idea.
some false advertising going on here of some
I don't
sort,
know, man.
or
The Peach Pit,
miscommunication.
like, gallery organization, all of it's just kind of a little messy, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
As, like, it's kind of crazy to think about because I'm like, these are the guest of honors. Like, one of the guest of honors.
No,
And,
they just treated everything in a very Japanese style that did not work in at Anime Expo, which is very American and
it's
very
not
global.
really. I guess, like, my question is a bit more of like, what was AX doing when all of this was happening?
They literally gave them free reign to set it up however the fuck they want, and then whoever was giving the approval to say, "Oh, I think it'll work," and just gave them
Clearly
the
did not.
okay.
It was either a very Japanese person in charge of the approvals or somebody who did not understand Japanese customs. Either way, that says poor insight for me. But
It
yay,
really
ad break is
does, but
over.
yeah.
Hello, Raiders!
Hello.
Thank you so much, Sadako, for the raid. I very much appreciate it. I'm Kinga Ningo, your meteor goldfish city pop diva. Currently, recapping my time at Anime Expo with at Lillian Verdant.
Hello. I'm just a
Hello.
random scrub that invades the channel on occasion. Hello, nice to
You're in
meet y'all.
pre-debut era.
I'm pretty Figueroa, but they don't need to know
Yeah.
that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to debut because I am rigging my own model, and it's gonna take a hot ass minute before I get that up and going. But it
Yes, but when
starts.
it
It's
does,
getting
it'll
there.
be glorious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dust tag. Go follow Lillian. Just a little
Oh, well, I don't
sprout
know if
trying
I'm.
to grow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just a sprout trying to grow.
Yeah, Soko also rigged their own model, so that took a while.
Oh, hell yeah. It's
Yeah.
harder, a lot harder than I originally anticipated. Because I figured that like I did animation before. I thought, oh, like, oh, it's gonna be like pretty straightforward. Probably same process. Lies.
That was a lie.
Yeah. I mean, my animating skills did transfer just a little bit,
That's
but
good.
it's still its own beast at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
that's
Yeah.
understandable. But yeah, Peach Pit panel. Not bad. Very comfy.
It was very good. It was just very Japanese, and
Yeah,
since
it
I
was
was in a
really
very
Japanese.
American mentality, it rubbed me slightly the wrong way.
The gallery and the panel were both just like, I think it's because Peach Pit themselves too. They're like
Peach Pit
really
themselves was
Japanese.
very forgiving because they are
Oh, true.
very
They're
cute.
shy and cute, and
Yeah,
there is
but the
a there's
staff is no, screw them.
it's very what do you
They're
stide
like, you're an
stide
inconvenience, and we're
very
making it very
rude.
obvious, but without telling you
Yeah.
attitude. And I just did not appreciate that, especially when you're in America. Please expect people to act American
There's a good
ways.
amount of folks like that you kind of experienced during your time at AX. It
Oh my gosh.
completely went over
Okay.
my head, but like you experienced quite a bit of that just by happenstance.
Yeah, because day one, we were in exhibitors hall, and we had just come from the beer garden, and I could not finish the squid teppanyaki for my life. It was the size of my face. I ate about half of it, and so I folded it in a plate, and like I was like nibbling on it here and there, and just it wasn't that big of a deal because they were selling food inside the exhibitors hall anyway, okay?
Yes,
But
that's
then
true.
as we were walking around, there's just these group of Japanese tourists that were like essentially behind us for a while. And at this point, you had gone run off to go find something. I don't even remember what.
Mm,
And
mm.
you left me behind near the Eva booth. Um,
Oh, this was at Anime.
yeah, yeah. This is a yeah. And so they were like, I took a year of Japanese and I know some basic Japanese vocabulary and I could understand them and they were going like, "Oh, like look at this American walking around and eating. She's so rude because she's eating something so stinky, so smelly." And then I'm like, "Okay, it's in Japanese, whatever." And I know that that's like a cultural difference, but very thing
Yeah.
because like people don't eat and walk in Japan. It's just like
No,
not a
it's
thing.
not a
I
thing.
understand. That's a thing. But then like also we're in America, like fuck off. Do you see how many other people have snacks? Like yeah, my squid is a little stickier, but this is something I officially bought at con. I'm not gonna throw it away when I haven't finished it, and I still want to eat it.
I'm
Like
like, I'm
that should
gonna
not
walk around
happen.
and eat, so who cares?
Yeah, but then they go so far as to have this person who speaks kind of broken English, it's not even good English, like say it out loud in English. It's like, look at this person walking around and eating, and I'm all like, oh, that was a bit too far. That was such a distasteful moment for me when they had like the broken English person start commenting. And I'm like, do you know where you are? Like, fuck off. So this is where like Japanese tourists, like you are just as entitled as fucking American tourists in Japan. Like, get off your high horse. Welcome to America. Yeah, so that was like really distasteful, and they all had industry badges too, which pissed me off a little further. Like, so these were people invited over to Anime Expo. Very clearly, they were just guests, not actual industry people. Because people in industry would not say shit in public like that because they have to care about their public image. So very
Yeah.
clearly that they were just guests at this point in time. So it's like, ooh, Japanese people.
Yeah. Yes. So lots of Japanese xenophobia at AX for some reason.
I just feel like I had like because there were really cute like Japanese tourists too who were just
Oh,
really
totally.
excited about how open America was
Yeah,
and stuff
totally,
like that.
totally.
And like more there was more natural fan interactions, I heard a
Yeah,
couple say. Um, I was just unfortunate and got uh, just that random group of rude people. Just yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But it is what it is. It's okay.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't ruin the day. It was just
No,
like
he was
a
just kind of,
just
well,
a what
that's
the fuck
weird.
moment.
That's
Yeah,
rude. What the fuck
yeah,
moments. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the Panty and Stocking world premiere was very much the opposite of that type of energy. It was very much just like, yeah, American culture. We put it in an
Dude,
anime.
that translator though, they did them dirty.
Oh man, I did a ranking earlier. I did a ranking because officially I went to 4 panels. You know, because we went to the Gachiakta panel together. We went to the Peach Pit panel together. We went to the Panty and Stocking panel together, and then I went to the My Hero Academia panel alone. Um, this is my ranking. First place goes to the Gachiakta translator by Kodansha. She was a slay. She was great. She basically could have been like just another like part of their production staff, and I would have believed it because of the way she dressed and everything. She was just a whole vibe alongside the mangaka and graffiti artist. Second place goes to the My Hero Academia panel translator because not only is he translating for Yamashita Daiki, he's also translating for Justin Briner and the rest of the audience who speaks English. So he's basically speaking English and Japanese simultaneously, translating in real time, and translates also for the editor of the My Hero Academia series who shows up last minute too. Um, Third place goes to Peach Pit's translator. You could tell she was just somebody from AX, hired by AX, and was just doing her best.
Yeah, but
And
it
then
was
last
solid
place,
translation still.
it was still
Yeah.
solid translation. That's why I'm giving her third place. She's third place. She's third place. Remember that. Remember. Fourth
Yeah,
place,
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, goes to the Studio Trigger translator because he was truly at a disadvantage with no writing materials, no references to go off of, and just deciding last minute that he's just gonna censor the staff when they are clearly speaking in English, swearing in English. They are saying
I
things
mean,
like bitch girl, bitch, shit, fuck. And they're saying it in Japanese too, and he's just like, I'm gonna censor them. That's like, yeah, they're really like mean women. It's like, no, just say what they are. They're bitches. They're
yeah, you
bitch
gotta keep
girls.
the same energy as the
He was
people giving
not keeping the same
translation.
energy. He was
He was too
not keeping the
shy.
same energy. He was
Yeah. He was
really
also
shy.
censoring like the acts that actually happened in the show too, like all the innuendos. He just did not
Yeah.
explain any of them.
Which
But
makes
then
no
that was like the whole
sense.
comical point of like the
Yeah.
thing.
That's an
Yeah, but
oof, truly. It really was an oof.
yeah,
Oofies, honestly. But it was a good premiere. I mean,
it's a really
you
good
came
premiere.
into it with only half of the knowledge because you didn't get through the whole season.
Yeah, I
But
only watched like 10
I knew
minutes.
what was gonna I was
Mhm.
caught up fully, so I was just ready for whatever. How do you
Yeah.
like it?
It was really good. I loved how they just were very self-aware and just picked it up. Like, yeah, like the first two episodes were, I guess trying not to
We
spoil
can't
anything.
spoil it until tomorrow. The
Yeah,
season starts tomorrow, so we can't say anything just yet.
yeah. Well, the first two episodes, like, they did a very good job, um, setting up the story for what's going on into the next season very well.
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah,
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 yeah.
it's
I guess
good.
that's all we can say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some other stuff was announced, like the figures that we couldn't
Oh
get.
yeah.
Those are so cute.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how cheap they were. They were $50 at Good Smile booth. I think they're gonna still keep at that price, ignoring the tariffs for the time being.
They made it very clear that it was supposed to be like a gift for the fans essentially. So if
Yeah,
they make it too expensive, that's no longer a gift for the
I
fans.
was very ready for it to be like $200. I don't know what that says. I think that says something about how jaded I've become from like the industry and their price points.
I mean, Crunchyroll does that like
They
crazy.
do. They really
So I would not put it past Crunchyroll to do that. But Good Smile has consistently made really good figures for an
Yeah,
affordable price.
this is true.
Not the cheapest, but like definitely reasonable.
Yeah, and the fact that they're making that $50 flat, that they made it $50 flat at Anime Expo is a pretty good deal. I can see why it sold out as quickly as it did, although I'm sad. Surprisingly, they still had the individual figures for sale.
Yeah,
But we have a goal, which is to get the
the
figures with
car,
the car.
the
So
car,
I'll
the
wait.
car is so
I'll
cute. Yeah,
wait.
that's what we.
It's the end goal there.
Yeah.
But yeah, good panel, great panel. Went to Yard House. I already spoke about my existential crisis sitting across from the entire staff at Yard House. It was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I was just staring. I was just straight up
I
staring
know
at
you
them the
were.
whole time.
I know you were.
They seemed to not mind, so I just kept staring.
And
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's fine. I I had
I
no
think
intention of
it was
interacting
I
though,
think
so I think it's fine.
I felt worse. I felt I just felt so I'm still just like ugh. I'm still just like about the whole thing because I sat directly across from them.
I told you to change seats, and you just sat there.
I wanted to
You
experience
chose your
it. I
poison.
wanted to experience it because I knew if I experienced anything else, I would have regretted it. Because I was like, I'm not gonna approach them at all, but the least I will sit directly across them. They
Yeah.
will know for the fact I'm like, yeah, I cosplayed your series, and no, this was not on purpose. Yes, we are sitting across from each other because we sat before they did. So we didn't
Yeah, we
even
did.
know
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah, we didn't know. It was
I
a
didn't even
genuinely coincidence. It's a
coincidence.
genuine coincidence. Yeah.
Genuine coincidence. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about like, oh, maybe they'll show up here. Cause like I completely forgot about the fact like, oh yeah, Yard House is right across from Peacock Theater, and it does seat people really quickly. It probably would be the easiest way for like a big group to get seated for dinner quickly.
It's also open late.
It's also open late.
Yeah.
Cause there we've had other like, we've had other encounters next to Peacock Theater and Yard House before too.
Oh yeah, we had so many. I mean, Your House is just such a solid pick because
Yeah.
like it's good food for a reasonable price. That's not an arm and a leg convention pricing and like happy hour, man. Can't beat happy hour.
Yeah.
Discounted drinks. Yeah,
Yeah.
we there was no happy hour that day because it was actually July 4th. So yeah, holiday, no happy hour. But
Yeah. It was also
yeah.
super late by the time we got there.
No, they don't stop serving drinks until like midnight. So we still could have gotten drinks if we wanted. We just
Oh,
chose
I
not
know. It's
to.
just happy hour. I think ends usually around 6, doesn't it?
They have two sets of happy
Ooh,
hours, and I think the later one
I
ends
don't
kind of
pay
like not all
attention
the way
to
till
those.
9.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good premiere. It was really funny. I started crying from that premiere because of how funny it was. I was not expecting to laugh that much actually, but like, it really is just that funny of a show.
You also know they had such peak moments when everyone in the theater was reacting the exact same way. Like
Yeah.
they evoked the emotions they intended to perfectly.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so good.
It's spot on writing.
Yeah. Well, they have their entire staff across like basically all generations on board for this. So
Yeah,
it's
and you
so
can't
sick.
make episode 1 and episode 2 like flop. Like that has to
Yeah.
be written masterpieces.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, I don't know why this does that, but the My Hero panel was cute. It was very lovely. You really didn't miss out on much, to be honest. There were no new announcements. It was just a
It's
look
just
back.
premiere.
It was just
Yeah.
a look back on like a lot of the moments that the VAs had working on the show, and just like
I love that kind of
admire.
talk though.
Yeah, it's just cute. It's like if you like, I think if you like My Hero and you like if you like Miroya Izuku, you'll like this panel, which I like both enough that I was like, I'll show up for this still. So it worked out for me to just sit down alone. Also, like the fact that because I was sitting down alone, the dude was just like really chill with letting me in. He's just like, I think it was like, it's like, oh, this place is closed off, and I was like, yeah, but can I just go in? It's just me. No one else is coming with. I'm not gonna hold a seat for anybody. He's like, yeah, you can go in. So I was like, cool.
Okay, so it's a good thing you actually did go alone
It
then.
kind of worked
Yeah.
out because I got this close. I was in front row seats, like some accounts I follow. Some accounts I was following, they got there at like 7 in the morning.
Oh, that's
They were at
crazier.
doors at 7 in the morning. I'm just like,
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, but
I'm
no,
not
I'm
that
not. I'm
dedicated.
like, I'm not that person. I'm just like, I like this show, but not like that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not for my hero. Yeah.
Not for My Hero. Maybe if this was like 2018, 2019, I would have been that person, but nah, it's been too long. So I was just this close. Still pretty close, I would say. Like I could see the voice actors' faces just fine from this seat. And see their facial expressions really well without having to look at a screen. So that means I knew I was like, this is a decent seat. This is a good seat. And no one was blocking my view. I was actually kind of surprised by that with the Peacock Theater. At no point did I ever felt like my view was blocked for the 2 times I was in there. So that was good.
They actually have the angle down just right at the Peacock Theater, so no matter what seat you sit on, as long as the person in front of you isn't ridiculously tall,
Or
like
you're not
you can
ridiculously
see
short.
that too. Yeah. Like the average is really nicely average.
It's nice. Yeah, it evens out really well. So it was a cute panel. Got to see Yamashita Daiki and Justin Briner kind of show off their voice acting chops. Um, and then the editor came in too to talk about some stuff while he was working on the series, because the editor that came in for the panel worked on My Hero for about 2 years. He was working on it from about the Shie Hakusai arc to about the Paranormal Liberation arc. So, good amount of time, especially what they decide to feature. I think it was an overall very cute panel.
Yeah.
Yes, I just took more photos. And then at some point we met up after you took time to rest.
Yeah, I was so dead after 2 days of full cosplaying. I think my body just straight up Oh, I guess it's because I slept like trash the day I drove down into
Yeah.
day one. So day zero into day one was just so hard. It was like
Mm.
essentially no sleep.
We woke up at like 9ish for day one, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And then day two we woke up at 8. Or not.
Yeah,
Yeah, day two we woke up at 8.
I slept a little better day one than day two, but I think it was not enough after having like that much overload pre-con.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah. And so I instead of just like slept in all the way until I was not functional until like 1, and then I started getting ready. I didn't make it into con on day 2 until
This is day
3
3.
p.m.
Day 3.
Yeah, day 3 p.m. Also, my friend, I was also like, I didn't know who certain Hololive characters, so my friend made a Hololive gacha essentially.
Mm.
So if you participated, good for you. But she has an SSR essentially in the gacha, and there was this person who wailed, didn't get enough, did not get the SSR,
Oh.
and she ended up opening every pack and realized, oh, there is no SSR in the bunch. So texts me, or she has her assistant text me going, we need this person. And I'm like, who the fuck is this person? So there I am trying to reverse Google who each and every individual charm person is to see like, ooh, is this the SSR? Is this the SSR? Because I don't know my Hollow Live
This
character
is so
or
funny.
people, VTubers. Yeah. And so I spent like a whole 30 minutes just like, who is this person? Let me see if I can find this charm.
That's
Yeah, for
so
this person.
funny.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I did when I went on day 2. I went straight to Artist Alley to drop off a couple keychains for the gotcha person.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did come up back and they actually did manage to complete the whole collection
Yeah.
after wailing a minimum of $300 for
Oh, fuck. What?
Yeah, it was insane.
Oh my
And then
god.
but then like you knew he wailed because like he had so he had an Ida bag and then he had the entire collection on the Ida bag on the front essentially, including the SSRs for each one too. But then he pulled out 3 whole handfuls on the inside of his backpacks of all the pulls it took essentially to collect them all.
He just
And
could make.
so
He's just basically gonna make a whole new Ida bag with that then.
no, he decided he'll just go to the gathering and hand them out to people
Aw,
essentially and
that's
just make a nice day
nice.
with it.
That's nice. It's
Yeah,
very
so
wholesome.
yeah, so people will be getting free charms
Yeah.
next
You know
event
what I
she
just
goes
thought
to.
of that makes me feel really awkward right now?
What?
I'm thinking back to the Gotcha panel for the premiere
Uh-huh.
and how we were Mori Calliope just watched us both do that.
Oh,
I just thought about that. I was like, that's kind
there
of.
is nothing wrong with that. In fact, when nerds are nerds and gushing, you are at your cutest form. So like don't even don't even
I'm just kind of
fret.
like, okay.
Yeah.
That's a weird sort of like way to be like, huh, I guess somebody I because I guess like I admire her work too, so I'm like, huh, I guess someone I admire did see me do that.
Yeah, they watched you gush over something you admire
We
and they
both
probably just
same
thought, "Oh,
series,
you're
yeah.
cute."
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, all right. Don't
You're
mind
good.
me. I'm just there's a lot of moments throughout this con where I realized, oh, there's people I admire who just like I just ran into in weird obscure ways, and I'm just like, huh, okay, they saw me in that moment. That's sure. All right. Could have been worse. Again, this is also like I also think about the fact I'm like I've done much cringe things, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
If anything, it's my inner child just showing itself again through this convention, which I was honestly very surprised it could even come out to begin with. That's one thing I think this convention had me surprised by was just how much I actually really enjoyed a lot of the panels and events and experiences throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was just day 3. Day 3 was, I mean, I think it was more chill for you, if anything, because um, you you
I
showed up at
spent
3.
the day, well, yeah, I essentially for me, day 3, after you left, I went around Artist Alley. So I
Mm-hmm.
found cool To Be Hero X merch. I bought 2 keychains,
Ah,
one
that's where you
of
got
Ace and one
them.
of Lucky Scion. Yeah, it's from AA. I was stalking out AA for the
Understandable.
little bit, and I did end up spending money, even though I said I wouldn't spend money. But that is the nature of AA. One day I'll make enough money where I can just go whaling in AA.
Yeah,
But not quite there yet, but it's
yeah.
okay.
I think in between that time, I bought myself a hoodie, so that was a good purchase.
Yeah, yeah. I also found some person lost their stuff. They dropped it in the middle of the hallway of
Oh,
AA. I went to return it to the artist, and they got the artist actually know who made that purchase.
oh, that's
And so
good.
we managed to return their lost goods back to the
That's good.
person.
That's good.
Good deed done for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yippee.
was cool. So now I know that if someone drops their merch, you could probably just end up
Return it to
giving
the
it back to the
artist,
artist.
and they'll probably
Yeah,
remember who bought it. That's actually a
yeah,
pretty good way to figure out lost and found for art, at least,
yeah. I
or
guess it's
just
a
general purchases at a convention usually.
yeah,
Because
yeah. As long as it's not mixed artist merch in the bag.
yeah, because surprisingly, like a good amount of vendors and artists do tend to remember who like bought from them.
Yeah, because it's an
Or even
interaction when you
if
do it.
like they didn't buy from them, because at this point I've gone to this one booth so many times and we've reintroduced ourselves twice now that I'm like I'm like, okay, we just know each other a little bit too much now. But it's fine because I like their work, and when they have their stuff available, I'm gonna buy it. It's just every
Yeah.
time I've gone, I haven't been able to buy it because it's sold out. But it's fine. I bought other stuff instead, so it worked out. Yeah,
Yeah. AX and things selling up or being out of stock is like always a thing,
yeah. I was kind of mad
unfortunately.
about like I understand when like some booths just can't sustain the amount of stock by the time they come around to the convention. But I don't like it when some booths just decide we're just gonna refrain from selling it altogether.
Yeah. Or at
Like
least to
it's
have a sold out
sign,
sticker.
sign, yes.
Bye,
Circle, have a good
Circle.
night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. We're gonna wrap up this stream pretty soon, to be honest, because I too have to go to bed pretty soon. But yeah, that's one thing about AX this year that I was kind of disappointed with was just like people not updating their signage to indicate when something was sold out, or booths just not choosing to have certain items that are available on their online store in person. Because I think that's a huge benefit about buying in person is that you get to see products in person. And that's like something I really look forward to at conventions and being able to buy something in person because not just does it circumvent like shipping fees or certain tax fees sometimes, but also it lets me have that interaction with this creator or artist that I've appreciated for a while. And it's like I do want to purchase from you because I do like your work. But when you make it unavailable to me because you make the choice, this is a very specific example, by the way, because this is the example that pisses me off the most. When you choose not to have something in your catalog, even though I know it's available in your online catalog, that just makes me want to turn away from you as a customer moving forward. Like,
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
it's just it's I understand that there's a lot of booths that had the downsize too, and so they
Yeah.
had to make very difficult choices. I just don't understand why. And again, I am talking about a very specific booth right now. I won't say their name, but I'm talking about a very specific booth. But when you choose to only have your collaboration catalog and none of your actual original catalog, I
That is
just
actually a problem,
I
yeah.
I just think it is very counterintuitive to your brand to be like,
Yeah.
here's all our collab stuff. Here's none of our original stuff. Like I
Yeah.
understand if you're very proud of it, which is like you should be, but also there's a reason why you got those collabs to begin with. You started out with something. Sell it. Anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about how I feel about some vendors and their decision making. Day three, otherwise, I tried to do karaoke. I did not do karaoke. I have so much complaints about that, which we can shift into a different TED Talk. Um, there was no karaoke contest this year. I'm so confused by that. One of the biggest conventions in the country, and they don't have a karaoke contest. What is that about? Secondly, karaoke was outdoors, not indoors. Historically, Anime Expo has had karaoke inside the JW Marriott, but I believe that because vendors and industry folks decided to buy out pretty much the space in the JW Marriott, karaoke had nowhere to go. And so because of how and they had a horrible system for their queue. They basically made it so that everybody had to stay in line one on one to sign in, and if they wanted to stick around, if they wanted to ensure their spot, they had to stick around for a certain duration of time. That was unknown. I did not appreciate that. As there was a staff employee checking us in, that staff employee actually happened to be the president of the karaoke company that Anime Expo hired, and I told her all these complaints. Additionally, I told her how it is such a huge disservice that karaoke for attendees is outdoors of all places because it is so unsafe to have people stuck here for hours on end in the blazing sun, to have staff there in the blazing sun for who knows how long and have equipment there for who knows how long. And from when I talked to the president about this, she said they weren't even given a canopy initially. She had to demand for one because how else were they going to survive the convention without some sort of respite from the heat? It is crazy how they basically decided to put like attendee karaoke all the way to the bottom of their priorities at this convention when music is, I would say, one of the highest selling points of anime. It is such a disappointment to see that. So that's probably gonna be the first thing I review when I look up the Anime Expo survey. Put karaoke in a fucking room. Put them back.
You're so enraged. It's kind of cute.
It's just really
There's one
infuriating.
specific event that you absolutely love and they fuck it up. It just triggers your rage. Out of everything else that most people would comment on, this is what gets you off.
But it's like this is some. I was like, well, someone has to talk about it because
That's true
turns
too.
out
Yeah.
nobody else did. I was the only person that evening, maybe even that entire convention, who like verbally said something to her. She was just like, she even talked about it with her other staff employee. She's like, "Oh, you're the person who made the comment." I'm like, "Am I the only?" Like in my head, I'm thinking, "Am I the only person who's talked about this with you
You
guys?"
are the only one because most people will not give their time and energy to give feedback to karaoke because why waste time giving feedback when they can just run to something else more interesting in con? Time is precious at AX, right?
I know,
Because
but
there's
I
just so
think it's
much to
just a
do.
disservice. But again, we circle back to the point of like, music is one of like a huge selling point. Like, look at fucking J-pop Capsule.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
but
just like, what is this like dichotomy here of just like we really just decided to put like we decided to put these two factor like the one connecting piece about these two is that they are both music oriented. Anime
well, I
Expo just put them at separate spots of their like priorities, at the top and at the bottom.
I think the location I now that we've had a couple days, I think the location for karaoke makes a lot of sense because essentially they made a massive line between karaoke, beer garden show and the arena. It's like or the theater. It's like a very nice straight line of musical entertainment where you can go from point A, point B, and you would hit all the musical events. Even
Yeah,
Lounge 21 falls on that line. It's just slightly bent off into the convention and back out.
yeah,
So the location makes sense now, rather having it there, and then that way it gets the same treatment essentially as the beer garden, essentially. So
yeah. No, I mean,
it wasn't
there was
completely,
plenty of traffic there for sure. I
yeah,
think that's
it was,
great.
but if they put it all the way into a ballroom where the main traffic and the confusion between panels and karaoke, that would have been a massive, massive clusterfuck,
That is
um,
like one pain
of
point I
logistics.
can agree with is that karaoke historically has also been forgotten by attendees
Yeah.
because people did not know it was in the JW Marriott,
But then if
and
security
also by
fucked up
proxy.
too,
Yeah,
it
also
would
by
have been really bad.
proxy. In previous years, people have been able to go into karaoke without a badge
Yeah.
because it's been the JW Marriott. It's the
Yeah.
one thing about Anime Expo, like, and again, I think that still goes to show how low in their priorities they put karaoke for attendees at. Whether it's in an indoor venue or outdoor, I still think that it shouldn't be outdoors in that manner. There
Yeah,
has to
not in
be
that manner.
something that they do to fix
Okay,
that, not just
but
for
then
the
there's
attendees, the
also
staff.
most people in America don't do karaoke. I feel like the
I know
person who
that.
is in charge of doing karaoke just has never done it, or like they've done it at shops where everything is taken care for them. They've never really thought about what needs to happen for a successful karaoke event.
No.
Um, and so they thought that just hiring a karaoke booth to take care of it, like studio to take care of it for them, would solve the issue. But essentially, the person
Yeah.
who runs the logistic department doesn't understand what it takes to make a successful event. But
Yeah.
clearly, since they hired a independent third party to take care of it, they did get a significant amount of budget to run it then.
They did. The craziest part
Yeah.
is though, this is the second time they've done this.
it doesn't matter first or second. Every time you change locations, the whole
No,
game
no, no,
changes,
no,
right?
no. I mean, it's the second time they've done that at that location. Anime.
Outside, just in the
So,
hot sun.
so I spoke with the president about that too, and she had informed me that, oh, we've complained about this because we started initially in the JW Marriott in 2022 or 2023. Then in 2024, we got pushed out here in the blazing hot sun, and we complained about it. AX hasn't done anything in a year. They
Mm,
received feedback from the third party themselves. Because I don't think, I mean, last year I didn't go, so I didn't even know about it because there was King's Record doing karaoke instead. And then,
yeah.
of course, last year we have no idea whether or not Anime Expo received feedback. But clearly, it wasn't enough feedback because, lo and behold, this year, when I actually go and seek out karaoke, they're still in the same spot that they say they were a year prior.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Anime Expo is it has continued is basically just like we have put attendee karaoke at the bottom of our list. Granted, I also think based on like what you have said with the Americans don't really do karaoke, I think attendees have also put karaoke at the bottom of their list to some degree. I
Yeah.
can't speak for myself because I have my priorities in very different places, so I feel very passionate about this issue. Otherwise, AX was good. Day 4 was really chill. I couldn't do karaoke, but day 4 was really chill. After that, it was very cute visiting the Toho animation studio and experiencing all the different interactions and stuff
Oh,
and
dude,
getting
the mini games
those
in
were
that
fun.
were so fun.
Those are fun.
The punching game, memory matching, whack the mole, and just like writing on the wall. They had four mini interactive things, including the photo
Wasn't
op when
it
you went
5?
through.
Cuz
Uh,
it's they had My Hero, they had Spy Family, they
they
had
had
Don
five
Don.
photo. They had five photo. Oh, wait, no, they had six photo ops, but four interactive games.
Yeah. That's still
Yeah.
a lot when you think about it.
No, that's a massive amount of
Yeah,
things that
it's
they
a
did
lot
with that
and
line.
like they organized it pretty well.
Yeah. They just needed a little bit
True.
more communication between the booths to prevent all that backlogging that happened, but it's okay. It was the last day and they were
It's
tired.
true.
Probably that's what
I don't
happened.
think I understood any of the anime things being said in the past 3 hours.
Sorry for
This is after like technically we're recapping the recap with your perspective too. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Just know
yeah.
that we had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
So when you go to an anime convention, you essentially it's like Anime Expo is like they try to make it so you can experience something from the anime. So
Yeah.
that's Anime Expo. So if you know nothing about anime, like it's okay, don't worry.
It is
It'll just
very
be
much
words.
just like I
You
wouldn't
gotta
say
know the
it's
space
like an
now.
amusement park, but it is kind of like interact there's a lot of interactive stuff to do.
It's like a kiddie amusement
It
park
is kind of a
without
kiddie
rides.
amusement
No
park without
rides, no
no
rides.
rides. But it is
Yeah.
very there were just so many adults in line. That was the thing. I don't think I saw a single child at this convention.
Well, I mean, just like thinking about everything that's happening in America, I don't think anyone with kids would be going at this period of
No, that's a
time.
lie. I saw one child online at Anime Expo who was taking pictures with a Midoriya Inko cosplayer.
No, no, no. We also saw two infants, like straight up baby
Oh
infants.
yeah, we did. We did see
Yeah,
infants. That was crazy.
yeah.
I forgot about that. I was like, that's a
Trusting
baby.
your baby to have an immune system to handle a con is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what those
Yeah, we
parents are
did see infants
thinking.
IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think I saw about a couple of like preteens who were definitely waiting to get to the con. I remember in front of like our hotel. They were with their family, but they're like preteens. And then one kid online who was cosplaying Midoriya Izuku. He was like probably like second grade, third grade. But that
Yeah.
infant, that was the only child I saw IRL, and it's like, or like at the convention, it's like, oh, actual baby, like barely got their boosters, kind of baby.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. You could definitely
Yeah, there's so
tell
much choice.
the age demographic was definitely people who are more established and could say fuck the world at that point in time, essentially.
Yeah,
Like older college kids to people who are very old.
Yeah, AX this
Yeah.
year was definitely for adults.
But I kind of appreciated that because
Oh,
you didn't
totally.
get some of the chaos associated with kids, which was very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most chaos that was similar to that was like when we were actually watching karaoke. That was probably the
Yeah.
youngest crowd we were surrounded with.
Yeah, I was surprised. They all looked like babies, and I'm like, ooh, this is how I know I'm starting to get old.
Yeah. Everybody,
Yeah.
every other crowd we were with, every other panel was definitely on the older side. I think it was also the types of panels we chose to go to. We went to an 18 plus panel and we went to a panel that was celebrating its 25th anniversary. Like, yeah, there's probably some younger folks in like the 25th anniversary one, but the majority is like older for sure. Yeah, it was good though. Hot man, AX just I hate how well of like how well the content was this year. I was like, man, I do want to go back.
We'll see. We'll see what kind of stuff they have next year for scheduling and see
Yeah,
if it'll be worth. Yeah.
yeah. Cause I mean, some of the stuff they announced, they don't announce till really late. I mean, I think Gachiakuta was announced like I want to say like a couple weeks before con.
Mhm.
Cause I cost crunched like very last minute.
Yeah.
And then J-pop Capsule was announced maybe like 2 months in advance. Oh, it was like April, I think.
Yeah.
Because I remember the folks who decided to go to AX very last minute did not even have badges yet.
Wait. No, actually, it was announced a solid 5 months in advance,
This
but
was
tickets didn't go on
after.
sale.
This was after Hotel Block, though.
Significantly, but tickets didn't go on sale until 2 months ago.
Yeah, but by
But
then
it
the
was
Hotel
announced
Block.
not 5 months,
Yeah,
5 months ahead.
yeah. Either way, like the Hotel Block was done and over with. Like they weren't getting a discount.
Well, but it like it makes sense because you want people who will attend the con irregardless to have
That's
priority,
true.
right?
That's one thing
So,
that they really ensured by expanding this year was like we're gonna make sure everybody who goes to these concerts buys a badge too. Because
yeah.
last year, because they didn't expand to Peacock Theater, um, I remember like I don't think you needed a badge to go in actually to like stuff like the Persona stuff, or like was it Shin Megami
You did.
Tensei?
They loosely checked it. So like they
Oh,
scanned to make sure everyone had their arm raised with a badge, but they didn't in detail check your badge. Yeah,
yeah.
same thing with like the 21 plus band. Like, oh, raise your
Mm,
arm to show your band, but did they
yeah,
check each person?
yeah.
No.
But even like in years prior, you some music events you did not need a badge for. This I think
Yeah.
this is the year moving forward. If you're really wanting to go to a music thing that happens to be at the same time as Anime Expo, you're most likely gonna need a badge too.
If it's hosted by Anime Expo, yeah.
Yeah, true.
But there's a lot of things happening in conjunction with Anime Expo, but not associated with them now too, though.
That too. Yeah,
So,
lots of events were happening just in just happenstance. Like, well, not happenstance. They basically scheduled them during AX because they knew people were gonna be here at AX. But yeah, I think if I had to give this experience a number, 8 out of 10.
okay, that's good. That's a good number.
Because I think what this convention really helped to do was it gave me a bit, it inspired me in a way that I actually wasn't expecting at all. I had very low expectations actually for AX, not gonna lie. Even for how many things I planned out, I actually had very low expectations. But also, I think that's because previous anime expos have disappointed me in other ways that I was like, I wasn't expecting much. And it's in its content. And I don't blame AX for that. I think it's more so just a lot of my interests haven't really aligned with anime expos or like a lot of cons in general in a while. This was just the first time in a while that they did.
Yeah,
So 8 out of 10.
I would rank it 9 out of 10. Yeah, a little higher. Because it's been a while
Mm.
since um I'm just comparing it to all those clusterfucks years when they had VIP badges and
This is
premiere
true.
badges and the
This is really
experimental
true.
cluster hell of
There
Crunchyroll taking
were
over
there were
to
so many new folks who were like,
um
"Man, this sucks," and we're both just like, "It's been every other person surrounding them were like, no, it's been worse."
yeah, and I have been to all of those worst cons, so I just feel
Yeah.
like the
No,
balance
same.
overall this year was just it bumps it up over all the other conventions.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand that.
that I've been to at EX so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe it would be 8 because I think it's like an 8 point. Okay, I'll give it. I changed my score to an 8.5.
Okay.
I think I would need to have a peak cosplay moment or see a peak cosplay moment,
Mm.
not from myself, but like just in
In
general,
general,
in order to consider it a 9. Like I did not see a sea of Cleese like we did last year. That was like
that's
peak cosplay
true.
moment when you had a horde of Cleese, following a massive Clee mascot. That was like
Mm-hmm.
adorable.
We
But
also
I
did
didn't
not
see.
do a group cosplay or any sort of like
I don't
cosplay.
care about us not doing one, but I would like to see
Okay.
one at AX where you're just like, oh shit, like, no, the hardcore people are here, let's go look.
Yeah.
I did not feel that as much this year.
Mm.
Yeah. There were like really good individual cosplayers, but
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
they were not really doing cosplay things, they were just like memeing around in their cosplays, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like people were just holding back punches this year for AX on the cosplay
I
stand
think
front.
some folks were also having low expectations is possibly a reason why. And then
Maybe.
some folks were also a little bit cautious of the weather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cuz it was hot. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
It wasn't as hot as certain other years
Yeah,
though
there's
either
definitely been
that I
hotter
saw.
years. It was still hot, but we've been at AXs that were hotter. I give it an 8 out of. Honestly, they lose an entire point just because of lack of like amenities towards karaoke. That's seriously why. I was like, no karaoke contest, complete mistreatment. You've lost a full point, and like I would say even a half from me for that.
Yeah.
Um, the point five I think is just the small bits that weren't really Anime Expo's fault, but just more so like interaction from staffs across different levels. Like people are people at the end of the day, but also I'm a person too. Like I'm not stupid, I'm not dumb, and it's not that serious.
I felt like staff was better this year because they felt more well informed to me. Yeah. Like if you asked them something, they could
Yeah,
actually kind of
I'm
give you an
actually not really
answer.
talking about Anime Expo staff. That's why I'm saying it's not AX. I'm talking about
Oh, it's not AX.
individual interactions I had that kind of made my convention experience just a smidge.
I see.
That's why give it a half point.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
There
because
was just
AX is
this
also
I don't
responsible of curating individuals too,
yeah,
right? Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, and maybe it's not all in Anime Expo's fault either for that. Like, so I'm talking like certain booths I visited that like were really like the individual who I interact with at the time. Maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe they were just really overstimulated. You know, we all are. But I
I'll
should.
screw the guy at the 21 ID check too, whoever you are. Screw you.
It's those things, you know. It's those small things that it's just like I know you're miserable, but you had a choice being here.
Yeah, you chose.
You
I don't care
chose
if
to
you worked a
be
20
here.
hour shift the
I'm
day
like, I'm
before.
sorry,
You
you
did that to
chose to be here
yourself.
and you chose to do this part. So of course
Yeah.
someone's gonna come up to you and ask these questions. And
Yeah,
they might
no.
be dumb questions that you've heard 90 times already, but you'll hear
You
it
still gotta
the
answer.
91st time as well.
You're gonna hear it 200 more times. Who are you even
Yeah.
kidding, okay? The day's not over. You're
The
gonna
day's
hear
not
it
over either every
many more
time.
times.
But yeah, again, that's not AX's fault most of the time when that happens. Actually, all the AX staff I spoke with was really pleasant. They were super nice. They were super helpful. Like you said, they were on top of it. It's just individual folks at individual booths, represented by individual companies.
Yeah.
But that gives it an 8 for me for that reason. Those two reasons.
Yeah.
Overall, not a bad con. we'll try going back again. We'll see how it goes. We have a year. Technically, we have 6
Year.
months before tickets open up again, but in theory, we have a year.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming to our TED Talk. Let me make sure. I'm like trying to. Where did you? Oh, there you are.
Oh, me?
This. I was just trying to find you so that I could switch over to my just chatting screen because this stream is over, guys. I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
I'm also gonna go on a day trip, beach trip tomorrow, so
Ooh,
I gotta
have
rest
fun.
up so I can make the drive.
Yeah, have fun, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should find
Beach
somebody
summer
to raid.
episode.
It's your beach episode.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay. Any recommendations out there for y'all? Would you go to Anime Expo, chat? Even if you're just like,
No.
what does the audience think? You're part of the audience too, you know.
Me?
I was talking about fruit.
Oh, fruit. Yeah.
Looking left and right.
That just means not him.
It's like, who, me? Yeah, you. You're in there too, aren't you? I don't know who's left. For all I know, some folks left because they were like, it's just same stuff. Because I did technically, until you had literally just as you showed up, I was wrapping up my AX experience.
Yeah,
and I was probably gonna
yeah.
end stream like probably within like 20-30 minutes after that. But then I was like, I mean, it'd be nice to get your perspective too.
I guess our perspectives are gonna be really similar though, since we were there mostly together the entire time.
Yeah, but it's still like,
I guess they're like
we had some differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just, it was nice getting to know your perspective too about the whole thing, because I feel like I dragged you a lot into a lot of the stuff I scheduled for myself.
I was totally chill with it. It
okay,
was fun.
I'm just glad you had fun. I'm glad it all worked out. Because I'm glad we got to attend everything, because I know that's not normal. But I believed. I manifested us going.
Yeah.
And making every single panel.
Yeah, I was so jaded from previous Anime Expos of being turned away, being like 2-3 people away from
I learned that from you. I learned that was something that you had experienced, and I'm just like, we're gonna get in. It'll be fine. I believe. I've never not gotten into a panel I didn't want to get into.
Dude. I hope it never happens for you. I hope you always get into every panel you ever wanted to go to.
Fruit, I get lost at Anime Expo. Dude, we've been going for like, what, almost 10 years now, on and off, and I still get lost.
Yeah. Still get
lost. We're still getting lost.
Part of the fun.
Yeah. So, we're gonna go and raid somebody now. I haven't figured out who yet. Sorry, Alch. I'm sorry for having you jump the gun. Who was I gonna raid? Oh, Dai just started streaming. I'm gonna raid Dai. Dai Jovinumaki, we're gonna raid them now. So if you are subscribed, you can use this little raid message. But if you're not, that's okay. You can copy Alch and use that raid message. That is free. Free 99. But for now, I'll bid you all adieu. I'll be back Thursday with Mecha Break. So if you're prone to nausea, maybe close your eyes and just let it happen.
I will not be there.
I was like, show up, but maybe close your eyes and just listen to my voice as I shoot people down. Okay, bye now.